Chapter 41. You can see Deep Grey City after you exit the forest. Zhang Yu rode his unicorn all the way and finally arrived at Deep Grey City around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Phew! Don't ride a rhino next time. It's too fast and my butt hurts. Zhang Yu rubbed his butt, fed the unicorn a few fruits, and then put them back into the poke ball. With the experience from last time, we found the dark grey gym quickly this time. Dong dong, is anyone there, Xiao Gang? Creak, the door opened, and it was Jiro who appeared at the door. Brother Yu? Jiro? Where is your brother? Zhang Yu asked. He wouldn't have gone to the mountain again, would he? Brother is changing sister's diaper. Brother Yu, please come in first. Jiro held his forehead helplessly and took Zhang Yu into the living room. It's really not easy to raise a child. Once again, I give a thumbs up to Xiao Gang for his strength. After waiting for a long time, Xiao Gang finally arrived. Sorry, Ayu, there's something small. It's okay, I just arrived too, Zhang Yu said as he stood up. What's the matter with you coming to see me this time? Actually, I'm here to challenge the Deep Grey Gym. If you're not busy. Zhang Yu felt a little worried as he looked at Xiao Gang, who was being entangled by the child again. It's okay. I'll be there in a minute. Call. Finally pulling Zhulang's hands away from his hair, Xiao Gang agreed to Zhang Yu's request with difficulty and reluctance. Swish, Jiro turned on all the lights. Zhang Yu discovered that the dark grey gym was indeed a rock gym, with a large area covered with various stones. Alright. The match is 3v3. The side whose all Pokémon lose their ability to fight loses, the other side wins. Now, the game begins. Jiro acted as the referee of this match, and with a whistle, both players at the competition venue released their Pokémon. It's decided to be you. Supergirl. Zhang Yu decisively chose the grass type that restrains the rock type. After all, he is not a master of reverse attributes. Valerian? That's a good choice. Then you're my choice. Onyx. Roar. With a loud roar, the more than 10-meter long rock snake was released. The sound was shocking. Da fu. The Queen of Flowers was full of fighting spirit. Good. You're very motivated. Zhang Yu nodded with satisfaction. He pointed at Onyx and launched an attack. Before a fight, you must apply a buff first. Sword dance. Da fu. The Queen of Flowers immediately started dancing an unknown dance. Roar. Onyx was controlled for 3 seconds. Don't let it strengthen, Onyx. Screech. Seeing that it was too late to stop the Queen of Flowers from becoming stronger, Xiao Gang could only let Onyx use sound waves to weaken its defense. Roar. A sound like a sharp rock scraping against glass was heard, madly attacking the eardrums of everyone present. Wow, brother, my ears are going deaf. Jiro shouted while squatting on the ground, covering his ears. Zhang Yu was not feeling well either. This indiscriminate attack was too terrifying. Fortunately, Amazon has completed its enhancement. Now. Grass slide. With a whoosh, Queen Flower looked at the fat body, but instantly approached Onyx. Fighting in close combat with Onyx? What kind of fighting method is that? Xiao Gang couldn't quite understand Zhang Yu's train of thought, but he would not give up this good opportunity. Close combat? Iron Tail. Roar. I, Onyx, am not afraid of anyone in my life. The huge rock tail came with a sound of breaking through the air. Hold on. A green energy shield unfolded in front of Queen Flower. Although it looked so thin, it blocked Onyx's powerful attack. Hey! It's our turn. Toxic. Onyx raised its tail and was about to see what was happening below it, but suddenly heard Xiao Gang shouting, "Get out of the way!" Chirp. A mouthful of purple phlegm sprayed onto Rock Snake's bumpy face. In less than a second, purple bubbles appeared on its body. Damn it! Ayu, I didn't expect you to have such a tactic. Has the world outside evolved to this extent? Xiao Gang couldn't help but wonder if he was out of touch with the times. But, we are not vegetarians either. Rock blockade. Boom 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 boom. Because the distance was too close, Queen Flower was unable to dodge and was trapped in the center by 4 huge rocks. Da fu. It's okay, Megan. Venom shock. This time, Onyx quickly avoided the attack. Humph! You can't escape now. Rockfall attack. Xiao Gang was full of energy and launched an attack. However, Zhang Yu already knew how the Amazon flower could take a beating. Take root. Grow. The Queen of Flowers sat in the rock blockade, with its roots digging deep into the ground to replenish its strength. It simply refused to move. In addition, the increased attack power brought by its growth made Onyx dare not hit it at all. The main reason is that Xiaogang's Onyx is not of a high level and does not have any powerful long-range moves. As long as it gets close to the Queen of Flowers, it will be attacked by venom and will be killed instantly as soon as it shows its head. Tisk. Looking at Zhang Yu's bright smile. It really has nothing to do with this kind of despicable tactic. Come back, Onyx, Radon, let's go. If Onyx, who was poisoned by the deadly poison, stayed on the field, it would be a slow death. Helplessly, Xiao Gang could only replace him with Radon. Tap hard. Boom, boom, Radon's heavy body smashed hard around the Queen of Flowers, causing little damage to it. However, the rock blockade collapsed and shattered due to the heavy stomping, and fell on the Queen of Flowers. Fire Fist. Before the Queen of Flowers came out, Xiao Gang seized the opportunity to command a counter-attack. Hold on. The wall of size again. Apart from a few sparks flying when the flaming fist hit it, nothing happened. However, Xiao Gang narrowed his eyes and smiled. Continuous flame fist. He couldn't hold out against the continuous attacks. Xiao Gang, as the gym owner, wasn't there to just sit there and do nothing. Rodon hit the energy shield again and again. But Zhang Yu's smile became even brighter. I have already predicted your prediction of me. Overlord Flower. Paralysis Powder. Defo. After the defense was over, Queen Flower took a solid hit from the flaming fist, but the ball of pollen in her hand also covered Long Longian's face. When it was being guarded just now, it was already fiddling with its petals with its hands, but its back was facing Xiao Gang and it was not discovered. Can you react to my moves? Now is the time, Magic Leaf. Crackle. Long Longian was still using his short little hands to pat the pollen off his body and had no time to dodge. Several energy blades pierced into its body. Rumble Rock. Chapter 42. The level is getting higher and higher, and the fighting style is getting more and more. Gurgle. The magic leaf is very effective. Several pieces of stone were cut off from Long Longian. Rumble Rock. Hold on. Use Tile Break. Although hit by the Queen of Flowers, Radon had thick skin and managed to withstand the magic leaf. Then a short flash of red light struck the head of the Queen of Flowers. Melee combat? I won't fight you head-on, Amazon, stand. Zhang Yu decisively chose the kite-flying tactic. Boom. The moment the substitute appeared, Amazon moved to a safe place, leaving only a Q version doll in its place. The cracking of tiles from the rumbling rock sent wood chips flying everywhere from the doll. Zhang Yu counterattacked without any hesitation. Tie a straw knot. It was time for Queen of the Night to show her talent again. A green vine stretched out from the foot of the rumbling rock, and Queen of the Night pulled it hard with both hands. Gilyalu. With a dull sound, Radon tripped and lost his balance, and was forced to start rolling mode. In that case, Radon uses roll. Xiao Gang is worthy of being the gym owner. He quickly calmed down and prepared to use the force of rolling to knock the Queen Flower away. Hey, I guessed it. Let's still tie a grass knot. Zhang Yu likes this move more and more. It feels so good to trip the big Pokémon. Radon rushed over with an unstoppable momentum, but what greeted him was a horizontal rope. Boom. Woo. There was a dull thud, followed by a cry of pain from Long Longian. It hit the rope heavily, and its body, which was rolling at high speed, was tripped and flew away, then fell heavily to the ground. The strong inertia caused it to suffer a huge impact, and it saw stars and its head was buzzing. Good chance. Queen Flower, Sunbeam. While Long Longian was still in shock, Zhang Yu immediately gave the order. The Queen of Flowers took a deep breath, and a dazzling light condensed in the flower bud, which then turned into a thick beam of light and shot towards Rumbling Rock. Gilyalu. Rumbling Rock's cry was drowned in the light. The solar beam hit Rodon accurately, causing a violent explosion and filling the air with smoke and dust. When the smoke cleared, Radon had fallen to the ground, his eyes had turned into whirlpools, and he had obviously lost his ability to fight. Xiao Gang took back the radon with a serious look on his face. He knew that Zhang Yu was very strong, but he didn't expect that he would lose two of his generals so easily. Onyx is highly poisonous and has no advantage against Megalonia. It seems like it has no choice but to fight to the death. All of his Pokémon are rock attributed, and the remaining one is a rhino, so it would be a waste even if he took it out. But how can a gym owner admit defeat? How can I correct it? Onyx, show us your strength and let them see our bond. Roar. Looking at the man and the snake opposite who suddenly caught fire, Zhang Yu touched his head and thought that he didn't seem to have irritated them. Vakera, come back first, Inksy Horse. Let's go. There is no need to beat the kid when facing the poisoned rock snake. It is also good to let the black seahorse exercise. This guy has gained weight again recently. Hi. What? Hachi. Why are you hitting a big truck again? Mohama was annoyed. Why did he always fight the big guys? At this moment, Mohama's desire to grow up became stronger and stronger. It's okay, Black Seahorse. The opponent is at the end of his rope. I believe you can handle it. Zhang Yu gave it a thumbs up. Although Zhang Yu had changed into a small black seahorse, Xiao Gang did not underestimate the enemy. The Queen of Flowers had so many tricks, so the black seahorse must have a lot of them as well. Rock Fall. The Onyx launched a tentative attack, flicking its tail and sending several rocks flying over. Without Zhang Yu's command, Mohama knew how to respond with just one look. First he moved at high speed to avoid the boulder, then he continued to shoot with a water gun from a distance. Although the damage is moderate, it is very insulting. Roar. Onyx was soaked all over and felt very uncomfortable. The poison was also eroding its physical strength. After its last iron tail missed, it closed its eyes unwillingly. Ha! How lonely it is to be invincible. Inksy Horse stood on the head of the unconscious Onyx, closed his eyes and pretended to be a master. No, when did this kid learn this trick? Zhang Yu looked at its blue back in silence. I don't think I've ever taught it. Well, no matter what, we still have to finish the battle seriously. Come out, one-horned rhino. Xiao Gang sighed, a tribute restraint is really hard to break. Huh? Could it be the one-horned rhinoceros from last time? Zhang Yu remembered that Xiao Gang had also tamed one at that time. Yes, because I'm not old enough, my brother will train me temporarily for a while. After hearing Zhang Yu's question, Jiro, the referee, replied. Okay, in that case, Boss Rhino. You come on stage too. Zhang Yu just wanted to see how strong the Rhino boss was. He had been riding it for a while and had never fought. Hoo-hoo. As soon as the Rhino boss appeared, he saw the one-horned rhino opposite and asked a question. Isn't he my little brother? Why is he fighting with me? Hoo-ha. Times have changed, big brother, I have a job. The one-horned rhino explained to his former boss, with a hint of pride in his tone. Xiaogang's one-horned rhino seems to have been tamed well and has become loyal to him. Boss. Use the ramming attack. Zhang Yu pointed his hand forward and shouted with full momentum, interrupting Erniu's casual conversation. For the sake of convenience, Zhang Yu gave the one-horned rhino a nickname, which was also mentioned in the previous article. Is this a contest of power between rock types? Xiao Gang also roared. One-horned rhino, let's use the ramming method too. Hoo-ha. X2. The two rhinos lowered their heads at the same time, pointed their horns at each other, and then rushed out like arrows. Boom. The two collided, making a dull sound. The horn of the one-horned rhino is bred to be sharper than that of the big rhino, but the big rhino is larger and more powerful. The two are in a stalemate, neither can easily defeat the other. Stonehead's characteristic, no counterattack. Come on. Boss, after you win the game, I'll give you 10 peach fruits. Upon hearing this, the rhino boss' eyes widened instantly, and he suddenly exerted force, pushing the one-horned rhino back a few steps. Well done. 100,000 horsepower. Sprint. The rhino boss kicked his legs hard and rushed towards the one-horned rhino again. We will not give up. Xiao Gang felt the long-lost passion from this rock-type civil war. Sacrifice yourself and charge. After more than 10 minutes, both of them were holding their knees and breathing heavily. It was still very tiring to shout out commands. Hi, Ha! The two one-horned rhinos were also very tired, but the big rhino was slightly better. After all, the meat was not grown in vain. Ha ha ha, Ayu, thank you. I haven't had such a satisfying fight in a long time. Xiao Gang suddenly laughed. Ever since his parents abandoned the family to travel, the strength of the dark grey gym has plummeted. Because he had to take care of his younger siblings, he hadn't given his all to the gym competition for a long time, which led to it being rated as the most friendly gym to novices. The battle ends here. Your strength is fully worthy of this dark grey badge. Xiao Gang took out a rock-shaped badge from his pocket and said to Zhang Yu. He only had one Pokémon left, Rhino. He had already lost, so Zhang Yu took out a rock-type Pokémon to fight him, which saved his dignity. Zhang Yu also understood what Xiao Gang meant, so he took back the Pokémon and walked over. Xiao Gang, to be honest, you are really strong. In every sense. Zhang Yu took the dark grey badge and put it into the badge box. Zhang Yu and Xiao Gang bumped fists. Looking forward to the next battle with you. Xiaogang's squinting eyes were filled with fighting spirit. Chapter 43. Dark Grey Museum and the Stone Thief. After successfully obtaining the first batch, Xiao Gang recommended to Zhang Yu that he could visit the Deep Grey Science Museum, which is also the only museum in the entire Kanto region. The Deep Grey Science Museum has 2 floors. The first floor is the front desk, where fossil pterosaurs and sickle helmet skeleton fossils are exhibited. The second floor is the space exhibition, including the space shuttle and the moonstone exhibition. Zhang Yu paid an entrance fee of 50 yuan and went in to visit. Wow, what a big skeleton! Looking at the fossilized pterosaur skeleton with a wingspan of about 4 meters, Zhang Yu exclaimed in amazement like the villagers. Although he had often heard news about fossil discoveries on Earth and had seen many pictures, he was still shocked to see it with his own eyes. There is an introduction next to each fossil. Zhang Yu looked at it carefully. He was quite interested in ancient Pokémon. It was so cool. Next, we visited the fossils of Pokémon such as Ammonite and Scythe Helm. But when Zhang Yu wanted to go to the second floor, suddenly a group of Miss Juncha ran up quickly past him, and at the same time the exit of the museum was blocked. What's going on? Why aren't they letting us out? Some tourists started to make a commotion. It was completely unclear what was going on. Don't panic, everyone. The special moonstone on the second floor of the museum has been stolen and is currently being investigated. Please be patient. The Junchas comforted the tourists. Stolen. Zhang Yu immediately thought of Meow Meow and the others. They wouldn't be here to cause trouble again, would they? Hey! Xiao Saburo, is it really okay for us to dress like this? A yellow-haired Juncha asked the person next to her. Yamadu, do you think we can do this? We will be doomed if we are discovered. Don't worry, Amato, we will sneak out disguised as policemen, and then use this moonstone to seduce the Pippi of Tsukimi-yama. He, after they take the bait, we will catch them all in one fell swoop, and then Boss Sakeki will definitely look at us with admiration. Kozaburo imagined the scene that would follow and couldn't help laughing out loud. Guhi, after dedicating this achievement to Boss Sakeki, it will definitely overshadow Musashi and the others. Yamato also fell into fantasy time. It's strange to say, ever since the Musashi trio came back from the Orange Islands, they seem like different people. Not only have their strengths greatly increased, but their emotional intelligence has also skyrocketed. Even the talking Meowth can please the boss. This made Amato and Kozaburo, who had always been at odds with the trio, very depressed, and they felt that their positions were threatened. You must achieve results to restore your image in the boss's heart. Hey! Stop standing there and go see if there are any suspicious people. At this time, a big sister named Juncha shouted at the two of them. Yes. Leader. Yamato and Kozaburo were startled and responded quickly, then quickly slipped away. Hey, let me pass. Zhang Yu felt a little strange as his body was pushed apart by the two Miss Junchas. Juncha, are there any men? Just now there was a Juncha whose voice was a bit shrill, but it didn't sound like a female voice. No, something is extremely wrong. Just when Zhang Yu wanted to look for the strange Juncha, the two had already slipped away. Ha ha ha, Xiao Sanlang, you are really reliable. You really escaped. Yamato changed back into normal clothes and gave a rare compliment. Need I say more? I've always been smart. Xiao Sanlang replied arrogantly. I also stole a poke ball from a stupid trainer. Shaking the ball in their hands, the two of them rode on the motorcycles they had prepared in advance and headed towards Moonview Mountain. Stop! Don't run! Suddenly, a Juncha rushed out from behind, with Zhang Yu in the car. Ms. Juncha, that's them. Zhang Yu pointed and confirmed. He didn't want to meddle in other people's business, but when he touched it, the unicorn beetle poke ball hanging on his waist disappeared. It was probably taken away by the two. How could they see through our disguise? Damn it! Yamato, who was driving a motorcycle, stepped on the accelerator hard, trying to shake off the pursuers. Disturb yourself visiting the museum and want to run? Go ahead. Ink Seahorse. Aim at their car and fire your water gun. Zhang Yu held the black seahorse's tail with one hand and its belly with the other, imitating the shape of a rifle and aiming at the two fleeing people. Ha! Puff, puff, puff! A series of water gun moves hit the two of them. Although the power was much smaller, the water all over their bodies seriously interfered with their driving ability. Well done! Ayu! Watch me next! Miss Juncha released the Growlithe and fired a jet of flame at it. Wow! It's hot, hot, hot! Water! I want water! Xiao Sanlang, who was sitting in the back, was roasted by the jet flames. The water vapor on his body was instantly evaporated and his hair started to burn. Pokémons are very strong, normal people would have been burned to death long ago. Damn it! This is too much. Yamato drifted and stopped with the front of the car facing Zhang Yu and the others. Come out, Rada! Hypnotist Taper! A giant rat and a strange Pokémon with a long nose were released. Very Queen! Boss! Come out! Zhang Yu released the remaining Pokémon, except for the horned beetle that was taken away. The 4-2 advantage is on me. Seeing so many Pokémon on the other side, a few drops of cold sweat appeared on Yamato's forehead. She knew her own Lada's strengths and weaknesses, so she could only place her hopes on the hypnotic taper that was cultured in the tissue. Vakera. Magic Leaf. Cardi Dog. Spray Fire. Juncha and Zhang Yu gave the orders at the same time. Suli. The hypnotic taper stretched out his hands, and a green light curtain appeared, blocking the two incoming moves. Yet. That's so strong, hypnotic taper. Amato jumped for joy. Sully. Then the hypnotic taper shook his fingers, and Zhang Yu yawned while looking at his fingers. No. It's hypnosis. Don't look at the other person. Zhang Yu reacted immediately and took the Pokémon back, slapping himself twice. Juncha and Katie, who were slow to react, lay on the ground and fell asleep. I really underestimated you. It's just hypnosis. I'm not afraid. Zhang Yu pulled out a bottle of yellow liquid from his bag and drank it all in one gulp. Chapter 44, Crazy Zhang Yu? After taking a sip of the liquid, Zhang Yu immediately felt a mysterious force rushing straight to his brain. In fact, this was originally the nectar that was to be sent to Yuman. He had saved several bottles. Zhang Yu would drink a little bit when he felt tired. Although it smelled bad, it was okay after getting used to it. It was better than Red Bull. But this time, after drinking so much in one gulp, Zhang Yu's brain was directly overloaded, and white smoke seemed to be faintly coming out of his head. Ha ha, ha ha ha, burp. So cool. I've never felt so good. After throwing the bottle away, Zhang Yu wiped his mouth and burped. Hand over my unicorn beetle now. Otherwise, I'll make you suffer. The robbery happened to me. How could I tolerate this? Suli. The hypnotic taper looked at the person in front of him with a flushed face, hands on hips and shouting, and wondered why he was not affected by his hypnosis. Yamato, what did this guy drink? Could he be crazy? Xiao Saburo had a bad feeling. Vakera. Use the maximum power of paralysis powder and sleeping powder. Ink Seahorse. Water gun cover. Boss Rhino, let's charge. Zhang Yu flipped his hand and released 3 Pokémon. He turned over and rode on the rhino, rushing towards Hypnotic Taper and the others. Deifu. Hachi. The Queen of Flowers shook its petals violently, releasing large flakes of powder that floated towards the opposite side under deliberate guidance. The Dark Seahorse uses high-speed movement to continuously shoot at Rada and the Hypnotic Taper. Team Rocket is no pushover. How can they be afraid of a wild trainer? So what? Rada, fight back! Pushing aside Kozaburo who was hugging him in fear, Amato also got excited and ordered Rada to fight back. But the hypnotic tapir did not obey her command and started to act on its own. Silly! A purple ripple rushed towards the unicorn, it was a mental shock. Hi! However, the rhino boss had thick skin and tough flesh. He just paused for a moment and continued charging forward. Charge! Charge! Defeat the general and seize the flag. Today. In Zhang Yu's mind, he seemed to have turned into a general, charging towards the enemy camp with 1,000 men at his disposal. All I can say is that he was drunk. What nonsense are you talking about? Lada! Go ahead! Yamato commanded Rada, who was already ready to attack, to use his fatal fangs to bite. However, the tactics were obviously wrong. Even the evolved Lada only weighed 40 kilograms and was half a meter long. Facing the rhino boss that weighed 400 kilograms and was 1.5 meters long, it was completely no match for it and was knocked back before its teeth could reach it. Ha ha ha! This kind of strength is far from enough. Zhang Yu continued to charge forward with a crazy smile on his face. Rada returned in the air the same way he came, knocking Amato to the ground from where he was standing. Silly! The hypnotic tapir still used its defense, trying to resist the terrifying attack of the unicorn rhinoceros. Boom! With a loud bang, the sharp horn of the one-horned rhino fiercely pierced into the green light shield, knocking the hypnotic tapir back several meters. Zhang Yu was also thrown out due to inertia. Well done! Kozaburo said excitedly. It could even withstand such a horrific impact. It is worthy of being a Pokémon professionally trained by the organization. It's too early to be happy. Although Zhang Yu was thrown away, he was able to get close to Xiao Sanlang and others because they were hiding behind the hypnotic tapir. Give me back my Pokémon! Zhang Yu used an aerial elbow attack and accurately hit Xiao Sanlang in the stomach. Puff! A mouthful of water sprayed out. Xiao Sanlang was beaten so badly that he almost vomited his overnight meal. At the same time, the powder of Queen Flower also covered the area. Faced with the siege of 3 Pokémon, Rovio, Rhino and Hippocampus, even if Hypnotic Tapir had the strongest abilities, it couldn't withstand it. Queen Flower also has the skill of aromatherapy, which allows Seahorse and Rhino to move freely in the powder. At this time, Zhang Yu was still beating the 2 members of Team Rocket madly. Stop fighting! Stop fighting! We surrender! Yamato begged for mercy with 2 panda eyes. Ha ha ha! Now you know how powerful I am. Who else can help me? Zhang Yu let go of the 2 men's clothes only after hearing their plea for mercy. Ha! That's it. The black seahorse looked at Zhang Yu with stars in its eyes. It seemed to have learned a new way to show off. After snatching back his unicorn worm, Zhang Yu seemed to be exhausted and lay on the ground. The 3 Pokémon that had lost their commander didn't know what to do next, so they could only stay by Zhang Yu's side under the leadership of Amazon. Seeing that the Pokémon did not attack again, Yamato and Kozaburo took back the unconscious Rattata and Hypnotic Tapir, and limped away while enduring the effects of Hypnotic Powder and Paralysis Powder. They did not even dare to take the items on their bodies with them. Defo. Amazon looked at Zhang Yu worriedly. Aromatherapy didn't work on him, and it didn't seem like he had any abnormal effects. I slept so comfortably. 2 hours later, Junsha, who was lying on the ground, stretched and woke up. No. Wasn't I chasing the bad guys? How did I fall asleep? Junsha just realized that she seemed to have made a big mistake. Woof. Grolithely stood up in a daze, not knowing what had happened. Hey! What is that? Junsha looked around and saw 3 Pokémon surrounding Zhang Yu not far away, with some things scattered on the ground beside them. Hey! Ayu! Wake up! Seeing that she couldn't wake Zhang Yu up, Junsha panicked and quickly put him on the motorcycle and rushed to the Pokémon Center in Deep Grey City. Defo. Queen Flower held the black seahorse, rode on the back of the unicorn and followed Junsha closely. As a grass-type Pokémon, it is very sensitive to vitality. It felt that Zhang Yu was not in danger of life, but now seeing Junsha's nervous look, it also became nervous. It's okay, don't worry. He just overexerted his mental energy. After eating nutritious eggs, he just needs to rest for a while. Miss Joy pointed at Zhang Yu, who was sleeping soundly, indicating that he was fine. Phew. That's good. If catching the bad guys puts the people in danger, I really don't know what to do. Junsa breathed a sigh of relief and turned to the three worried Pokémon. It's okay, Au is just too tired, he just needs to rest for a while. Juncha handed a pager to Amazon and told it to press the red button when Zhang Yu woke up and she would come over. She also had to return the moonstone. Even though the bad guy had gotten away, at least the thing was recovered. Deifu. A Mazwunner stood guard at Zhang Yu's bedside, waiting for her trainer to wake up. Thanks to Juncha's arrangement, the ward was big enough, and Seahorse and Rhino were also in the room. Chapter 45, Epilogue and the Big Sister, Amazon Prime. Where is this? Zhang Yu rubbed his eyes and saw an unfamiliar ceiling. Ha! When the black seahorse heard the sound, it pounced and landed on Zhang Yu's stomach. Ink Seahorse? And Queen Flower and Rhino Boss? Why are you in the room? Zhang Yu stood up and patted his head. He had no memory of what happened. He only remembered that he rode the Rhino Boss and rushed towards the thief. That's right. Unicorn Beetle. Reaching out and touching it, Zhang Yu breathed a sigh of relief, luckily he had managed to get it back. Woo! The released hornworm shook its head and crawled around on the bed in a cricket pupa. Zhang Yu touched the body of the unicorn beetle, which was soft like cotton. Although it had only been tamed for 2 days, the unicorn beetle was quite satisfied with its current living environment and had no resistance to his touch. Ding, hello, I'm Miss Juncha, what can I do for you? The female beauty pressed the button of the pager, and Juncha's voice came from it. Deifu. This voice, is it the Amazon? Oh, I know, you is awake, right? I'll be there soon. After saying this, she hung up the phone in a hurry before the female police officer could hand the pager to Zhang Yu. Oh, yes. And Miss Juncha too. But what happened after that? I can't remember anything at all. Zhang Yu picked up the black seahorse and gently patted the petals of the Queen of Flowers. Ha ha ha, I'm fine, don't worry anymore. Hoo ha, the unicorn rhinoceros also came over and rubbed Zhang Yu's legs. It had eaten too much during this period, and it had grown a little bigger. It was estimated to be about 1.7 meters long now. The three Pokémon were all trying to win Zhang Yu's favor, only the horned bug was staring at them blankly. Hi! There's a sadly thick barrier between us. Deifu. When Queen Flower saw that the unicorn beetle was so tactless, she cried out. Woo! The unicorn recalled the horror of being dominated by the Queen Flower that day. Several of its brothers were knocked down in an instant, and they had no power to fight back. Thinking of this, it quickly turned into a pupa and came to Zhang Yu's side, rubbing Zhang Yu's hand. Hey, okay, be good, Zhang Yu comforted the unicorn beetle. He always felt that the temperament of the Queen of Flowers was different from before. Bang, the door of the room was suddenly opened and a Miss Juncha rushed in. Au, you're awake. Is everything okay? Juncha looked around Zhang Yu for a while and found that he had a rosy complexion and was in good spirits, so she felt relieved. Zhang Yu got off the bed and took a few steps. It's okay, I'm fine. I just want to trouble Miss Juncha to tell me what happened after we caught the thief. It would have been fine if you didn't ask, but when you did, Juncha's face became a little embarrassed. Haha, well, actually, I also slept for a long time before I woke up, haha. After laughing awkwardly twice, Juncha cleared her throat. Although I don't know what happened, I can be sure that you successfully defeated the thief and took back the moonstone. After all, only Zhang Yu's Pokémon was present at the time, and there were signs of fighting. Defu. Amazon also nodded, agreeing with Juncha's statement. In order to commend you for your bravery, the Deep Grey City Museum has decided to give you a bonus of UN. As she spoke, Miss Juncha took out a thick stack of poke coins from her bag and placed them in Zhang Yu's hand. Take it quickly, this is what you deserve. Zhang Yu did not act pretentiously and accepted the money readily. Since you have recovered, I am relieved. I still have some things to deal with, so I will leave you now. After saying goodbye to Juncha, Zhang Yu tidied his clothes, collected the 4 Pokémon and prepared to leave the Pokémon Center. I went to the first floor to settle the hospital bill, but was told that the museum had already paid it. It's really grand. This incident was not a big deal. The moonstone had been recovered, so the museum did not spread the news. Zhang Yu did not disturb Xiao Gang, but rode Rhino Boss slowly towards Hualan City, ready to get the second batch. The Rhino Boss grew stronger and stronger, with a very broad back. Queen Flower and Seahorse also sat on its back. But for some reason, Unicorn Beetle hid in the Pokeball and didn't dare to come out. As he walked, Zhang Yu stuffed food into the one-horned rhinoceros mouth. Deifu. Hey, you said I defeated the bad guys like Superman. Zhang Yu was somewhat surprised when he heard the story told by Amazon. But he didn't quite understand and could only guess based on what Amazon said and gestured. Is this nectar so potent? After the stinky flower evolved into the queen flower, although the nectar production decreased, the quality seemed to have improved. Yuman even raised the purchase price for each bottle. Courageous nectar produced by the brave queen flower can increase strength after drinking it. Zhang Yu wasn't quite sure, but maybe he could ask Yuman when he got to Yeheng City. You guys have made a great contribution. Zhang Yu also knew that he must have contributed a little, and most of the credit went to Pokémon. Deifu/Hachi/Hu. Ha! The journey was filled with laughter and laughter. Dark Grey City is quite far from Cerulean City. Last time I took a Pidgeot, but this time I took a Rhino and it was much slower. It was almost evening when Zhang Yu finally arrived at Yuejian Mountain, where he planned to camp for the night. I found a large open space that looked relatively safe. Mohama, come and wash these fruits. Boss Rhino, please dig 4 holes in the ground so I can set up the tent. As for the tyrant flower, use a low-powered magic sparkle. The unicorn beetle was too weak, and Zhang Yu couldn't think of what to use it for a moment, so he simply placed it next to the black seahorse to help pass the fruits. The Pokémon that were given the task started to get busy. The Queen of Flowers emits a gentle light, acting as a temporary light bulb. The black seahorse used a water gun to rinse the fruits stuck in the horns of the unicorn beetle. The Rhino Boss quickly dug the hole. Hoo-ha! Zhang Yu felt someone touching his waist and turned around to look. Ah, is it ready? That's great. I'll go and set up the tent right after I make a fire. Zhang Yu set up the pot, boiled water, put the washed fruits in to cook, and added some rice to make some porridge in the evening. While the pot was burning, he set up the tent and secured it with nails driven into the dug hole. Okay. It's time to eat. Come and eat. After the 4 Pokémon had dinner together, Zhang Yu collected all the Pokémon except for the Skyrocket. After entering the tent, Zhang Yu lay down and fell asleep under the protection of the glowing queen flower. Chapter 46. Traveling in the Rain and Ninja Mountain. The next day, Zhang Yu was awakened by a gust of cold wind. After opening his eyes, he found that the door of the tent was not closed tightly when he slept last night, leaving a gap, and the cold wind rushed in from inside. By the way, why did the weather suddenly turn cold? Defu. When Amazon saw Zhang Yu wake up, she greeted him. Good morning, Queen of Flowers. Thank you for your hard work in keeping watch over me last night. Zhang Yu patted its corolla and turned off the lights. Although the queen flower used magic to shine all night, it used the smallest light and did not consume much energy. It still looked very energetic. However, they still had to continue their journey today. Zhang Yu took back the Amazon and put on his clothes. According to the current speed, it will take another 2.5 days to reach Hualan City. Opening the navigator's map, Zhang Yu estimated the distance. Ah! As soon as he opened the tent door, Zhang Yu sneezed, rubbed his nose, and felt that the air outside was a little humid. But he looked up at the sky and found that there were no dark clouds or anything. I've been in this world for a few months now. Maybe it's because the seasons are about to change, and the temperature changes a lot. Zhang Yu packed up all his things, folded the tent into a small piece and put it into his backpack, which didn't take up any space at all. This was a new travel product he bought specially. You can totally trust the travel items from the Pokémon world. Zhang Yu is not going to ride the Rhino Boss today. He plans to walk around by himself and enjoy the scenery. Carrying your backpack, continue from Yuejian Mountain and walk straight along the main road. Hoo-hoo! After walking for about an hour, the sky suddenly darkened and a gust of wind blew, making Zhang Yu shiver. It was sunny just now, why is it suddenly cloudy? Is it going to rain? It would be terrible if it really rained, because Zhang Yu rarely encountered rainy days, and even if it did, he would hide in the house, so he had everything in his backpack except an umbrella. Damn it, it's over, there's no place to hide from the rain. I looked around and saw nothing but the empty road and an unknown forest in the distance. For some reason, there was no one on the road. Another gust of cold wind blew by, and Zhang Yu shrank his neck. He didn't pay much attention to it just now, but now that he realized it, he couldn't help but feel a little scared. No way, there won't be ghosts in this open area. Zhang Yu knew that ghost Pokémon existed. After all, Zhang Yu hasn't completely transformed his ordinary mentality. Even though he has seen a lot of magical Pokémon in the past few months, he is still a little afraid of gods and ghosts. Boss Rhino, Queen Flower, Seahorse, and Unicorn, come out. After a burst of neighing, confirmation, the 4 Pokémon lined up in front of Zhang Yu, looking at their trainer in confusion. Phew, I'm glad you guys are here. Riding on the sturdy back of the Rhino boss, Zhang Yu felt safe again. Amazon Flower sat in the back holding the black seahorse, while Zhang Yu held the unicorn. Although they didn't know what happened, the Pokémons were not confused and continued to move forward happily. The wind was getting stronger and stronger, and a light rain began to fall from the sky. The one-horned rhinoceros shook its hooves, as if it didn't want to get wet. Oh, that's right. Rhino Boss is a rock and ground type and doesn't like water. He only remembered that the unicorn was restrained by the grass type and almost forgot that it was also restrained by water. The unicorn worm also twisted its body and shook off the water droplets. You don't like the rain either? Okay. After collecting the Rhino Boss and the unicorn worm, Zhang Yu ran quickly on the road, trying to find a place to shelter from the rain while it was not raining heavily. Since Queen Flower is a grass type, she doesn't mind water, and Seahorse is even more so, moving around at high speed to have fun. Zhang Yu ran to the forest he had just seen, panting heavily. Because of the trees, the drizzle became almost non-existent. Phew, luckily, the rain hasn't gotten any heavier. But where is this forest? It doesn't seem to be recorded on the map. Zhang Yu looked at the navigator for a long time. There was only a forest icon on it, but no other records, as if it was too inconspicuous. Defo. The female boss poked Zhang Yu's hand and pointed forward. That is. Through the bushes, he seemed to see a small house ahead. Go over and have a look. After taking back the Queen Flower and the seahorse that was having fun, Zhang Yu walked quickly towards the cabin. Hello someone. Brush. Just as he was about to knock on the door, a dart hit him in front of his feet. Wow. Startled, Zhang Yu took a step back instantly. Stop. Who are you? Why are you breaking into my house? A voice came from the tree next to him, and then a figure in ninja clothes jumped down. Hello, my name is Au, I'm a trainer, and because it's raining and I didn't bring an umbrella, so. Zhang Yu explained that he didn't expect the owner of the house to be hiding in the tree. The ninja looked at Zhang Yu suspiciously, and seeing that he was dressed like a trainer and not wearing any strange clothes or anything, he seemed to believe what he said. Taking off the mask, the ninja revealed a dark face. Hello, Au, my name is Das Han. As you can see, I am a ninja who is training with Pokémon. I'm sorry to treat you as a bad person, please come in and sit down. As he spoke, Das Han opened the door and called out to the tree where he had been hiding. Shaorung, come out, there are no bad guys. Just as he finished speaking, a brown Pokémon jumped down from the tree and landed lightly without making any sound. Cha! The brown Pokémon followed the mountain into the house. Huh? What is this? Looking at the unfamiliar Pokémon, Zhang Yu couldn't help but take out the illustrated guide. Dishaorung, the kicking Pokémon. It can extend and retract its legs at will, and can kick down the opponent from a long distance. Seeing this scene, Das Han became more convinced that Zhang Yu was not a bad person. After sitting down in the house, Das Han poured Zhang Yu a glass of water. Thank you, Das Han. I'll just wait here for a while until the weather clears up and then leave. I'm sorry to bother you. Zhang Yu took the water, took a sip, and thanked him. You're welcome, but are you traveling? How's the outside world like now? I've been practicing in this forest for a year, and no one has come here during this time. Das Han asked curiously. Well, it seems like nothing special happened. The Quartz Alliance just held a gorgeous competition some time ago. I just started traveling not long ago. Zhang Yu said after thinking for a while. But, Das Han, you said practice? Do you mean special training? It was the first time he heard of cultivation. Was it the same as special training? Ha ha ha, that's about it. Das Han let down his guard and became cheerful. Shaorong and I felt our own bottleneck, so we came to the forest to constantly challenge ourselves, such as running 10 kilometers a day, throwing darts 1,000 times, etc. Oh right. Ayu, since you've been traveling, you must have fought a lot of battles. Let's have a fight too. As Das Han spoke, he became more excited and really looked like a crazy spiritual practitioner. Chapter 47. After thinking for a while, Zhang Yu agreed to Das Han's request. Just think of it as preparing for the Cerulean Gym tournament in advance. However, while the two were chatting, the rain suddenly got heavier. They had no choice but to hide in the house and wait for the rain to stop before fighting again. 2 hours later, the rain gradually stopped and the sun came out again. The weather changes so quickly. After complaining, Zhang Yu was sure that the season was beginning to change. Now we can fight. Come with me, Ayu, I know a venue. Das Han excitedly pulled Zhang Yu out of the door and soon arrived at a rock platform in the forest. I built this while I was moving rocks with Shaorong to exercise, and I'll use it for the battle this time. Although the platform had some potholes, the project was no small undertaking. Zhang Yu couldn't help but applaud in admiration. Come on. The rules of the game are 1v1, whoever falls first loses. After Das Han released Shaolong, he stood on the other side of the platform. It is good. Then the one I'm fighting on my side is Ink Seahorse. His own unicorn beetle is too weak, and the queen flower and the unicorn rhino are restrained by the Shaorong, so he can only send the black seahorse to fight in this battle. Haha, I'm used to it. The black seahorse yawned. He was already very skilled at fighting opponents that were bigger than himself. Seeing Zhang Yu release the Pokémon, Das Han directly announced the start of the battle. The other party seems to be looking down on you. Shaorong, use the high five surprise attack. That's right. Shaorong jumped to the side of the black seahorse and slapped it with both hands. What a fast speed! Get out of the way. Zhang Yu was a little surprised. Is this the strength of cultivation? It's quite strong. However, Mohema has formed muscle memory by using high-speed movement every day. The moment the opponent opens his hand, he has already flashed to the side. Puff! A water gun sprayed out after the ink seahorse dodged. Cha! As if surprised by the speed of the black seahorse, Shaorong lowered his head to avoid the water gun. Kick the lower plate. Das Han commanded. Shaorong just bent down, supported himself with his hands, and kicked towards the black seahorse with his two slender legs. There's something in this combo. Zhang Yu couldn't help but praise Shavero when he saw his smooth attack. Mokaiba. Use water gun on the ground. Puff. Mohema lowered his head and aimed directly below, using the recoil of the water gun to lift himself into the air, avoiding Shawerang's kick. Bubble light. Ha! The black seahorse blew out a series of bubbles. After 2 missed attacks, Shaorong had no time to change his tactics and was hit by the seahorse's bubble beam. However, the power was average. Patting his chest, Shaorong continued to assume a fighting posture. Good job. Feint. Das Han raised his fist as if he was fighting on the field. That's right. Shaorong stepped forward and punched him. Hurry up. Hearing Zhang Yu's words, the already small black seahorse curled up into a ball and dodged the punch. Hey, there's more. This is the killer move. Das Han gave a flying kick in the air and then commanded. Shaorong. Spinning kick. That's right. Shaorong turned his body quickly and kicked the black seahorse that had curled up into a ball out. Ha! Ink seahorse. Zhang Yu was about to run over, but he saw the ink seahorse shook his head and stood up. Ha! Come on! Ink seahorse's fighting spirit was aroused. It has been a long time since I encountered such an exciting battle. Ayu! Your Pokémon is very motivated. Das Han gave a thumbs up. But fighting spirit alone is not enough. Shaorong, close combat. After hearing Das Han's command, Shaolong rushed forward quickly, punching, kicking, elbowing. Each attack was carried out with a fierce momentum, making Mohema exhausted. Shaorung! Use the million-ton kick! Das Han shouted. Shawarang's right leg glowed and he charged towards the black seahorse with great force. Black seahorse! Get out of the way! Zhang Yu shouted anxiously. However, the black seahorse did not dodge, but bounced, and with blue light all over its body, it crashed straight into Shawalan's chest. What is this? A collision? No. Zhang Yu didn't understand what Mo Haima's moves were. Ha! Shaorung didn't expect that this little thing would rush over instead of evading, causing its flying kick to miss. The black seahorse, carrying a huge amount of water energy, hit Shawalan's chest heavily. That's right. This attack made Shaorung feel very uncomfortable. He half knelt down, holding his chest. What kind of move is this? Das Han was also surprised. It turned out that Au had another trick up his sleeve. At this time, Zhang Yu was also confused and said, I don't know. Ha! The black seahorse stood on the ground and blew out a puff of smoke from his mouth with disdain. It suddenly remembered the memory that was instilled into its mind by the sea god during the sea god festival. For details, see chapter 23. This move seems to be called water flow break? Never mind, just be cool enough. I really underestimated you. Shaorung, surprise attack. Das Han recovered and continued his attack. Ink Seahorse, smoke screen. Zhang Yu stopped Mo Haima from pretending to be an expert, the battle was not over yet. A cloud of black smoke enveloped the platform. Shawarang's surprise attack failed and he stood there alertly, looking around. Water, gather energy. Zhang Yu just shouted a word, but immediately changed his skills. Wide area defense. Das Han gave the order instantly, so quickly that he started defending before Zhang Yu could finish speaking. Shaorung put up a shield and waited for a long time without being attacked. Das Han looked a little constipated. Hey, buddy, why did you change your playing style? Where are your exciting combo skills? Hehe, now is the home court. Ink Seahorse. Continuous water gun. Zhang Yu gave a shy smile. Because he couldn't see the figure of the black seahorse, Shaolong could only defend passively. Before being tamed, the black seahorse often lived in the deep sea and was familiar with the dark environment. One shot after another of water gun fired at Shaorong. One of the shots even hit its waist, and the sniper feature was activated. The effect was outstanding. In the end, the high attack and low HP of Shaorong still couldn't withstand the kite of the ink seahorse and fell to the ground unwillingly. I'll test it. Das Han almost couldn't help but swear. This style of play refreshed his perspective on fighting. In fact, the main reason is that Shaorong does not have a large-scale attack move, otherwise he would defeat the ink seahorse with just one AoE. Zhang Yu felt a little embarrassed when he took back the Pokémon. In a battle, tactics are also very important, ahem. Das Han, you and Shaorong are both very strong, but we just have different fighting styles, don't be discouraged. But Zhang Yu was overthinking it, and Das Han laughed. It's okay. You're right, the tactics of the battle are indeed important. I know where my bottleneck is. Thank you, Au. I paid too much attention to my body and ignored many external factors. Today's match made me realize that there is such a way of playing. Seeing that Das Han figured it out so quickly, Zhang Yu felt relieved and took out his Sky Rocks to heal the injuries of both Pokémon. Das Han said to Zhang Yu, Au, I have broken through the bottleneck today. I am going to stop practicing and go back to the village. Do you want to come with me? I haven't been back for so long, my grandma must miss me a lot. Besides, the moon viewing festival should be coming soon. Our village will be very lively then. Let's go together. Moon viewing festival. It's another new festival. Zhang Yu learned from Das Hangkao that the moon viewing festival is similar to the Mid-Autumn festival on Earth. It is said that many Pippies will appear on the moon viewing mountain that night. The small village where Oyama lives is at the foot of the mountain behind Mt Tsukimi. Yeah, okay, but can you wait until I finish challenging the Cerulean Gym before going? It's nice to experience the festival in the Pokémon world. It's okay, there's no rush. There are still 2 weeks left. Just come find me then. After Das Han and Zhang Yu made an agreement, they took Shaorong and left first, saying that they wanted to go back to the village to prepare for the festival in advance. Zhang Yu returned to the road and continued heading towards Hualan City. Chapter 48. Water Ballet and Mermaid Xioxia. The next 2 days were spent on the journey. We finally arrived in Cerulean City before noon on the third day, but fortunately the weather was good and it didn't rain again. The first thing Zhang Yu did when he arrived in Hualan City was to buy rain gear. After replenishing the daily necessities needed for the journey, he came to the Hualan gym again. Just as I was about to knock on the door, I found a notice posted on it, "Sorry, the gym will suspend challenges today. The gym owner will participate in an underwater ballet performance. Those who are interested in watching can go to the Cerulean Aquarium." Zhang Yu was a little disappointed and turned around to leave. "Hey uncle, are you here to challenge the Cerulean gym?" A familiar voice came from the side. Zhang Yu turned around and found that it was the little girl Xioxia whom he met last time. Hello, Xioxia, aren't you going to the aquarium to perform with your sisters?" Could it be that the three sisters were so busy performing that they forgot about Xioxia? "I'm not going. They always ask me to be a mermaid. I want to be a water Pokémon master, not swim around in the water like a clown." Xioxia crossed her arms and said with a look of disgust. This is the rebellious period at such a young age. "Xioxia, why are you here? My elder sisters have been looking for you for a long time." A blue-haired woman suddenly appeared from behind and picked up Xioxia. "Whoa! Let me go. I don't want to perform." Xioxia was startled and twisted her body desperately, trying to get off Icarus. "Forward." Zhang Yu looked at everything happening in front of him with embarrassment. He had no idea what he should say to ease the situation. Icarus looked helpless and could only try to seduce Xioxia with delicious food. "Xioxia, be good, as long as you obey and perform, sister will buy you your favorite Duo ice cream." However, Xioxia ignored Icarus' suggestion and continued crying. "Well, since it's not convenient to challenge the gym today, I'll leave first." Seeing the chaotic scene, Zhang Yu thought it would be better for him to leave first. At this moment, Changpu finally noticed Zhang Yu, who was waiting on the side. "I'm sorry, my sister is a little willful and made a fool of herself. We are performing today and it is really not convenient for her to accept the challenge." As Icarus said this, he stood up holding Xioxia in his arms. However, Icarus suddenly thought of something and a smile appeared on his face. "Hey! You are the challenger, right? Well, Xioxia, if your sister asks you to fight against the challenger, will you be obedient?" Icarus looked at the sister in her arms expectantly. Hearing this, Xioxia suddenly became obedient. "Really? Second sister, please don't lie to me. Of course it's true. You can do it, right?" Challenger." Chang Pu didn't have time to ask Zhang Yu's name. "My name is Yu. I don't mind, but Xiao Xia is so young." When Zhang Yu heard that Xioxia wanted to fight him, he looked at the little girl who was probably only 6 years old and wondered if he was bullying a child. "Hey, don't underestimate her because she's small. Xioxia is the one with the highest fighting talent among the 4 of us sisters." In order to appease Xioxia, Icarus gave her some praise. "Hey! Second sister is right. Let's go and perform. The sooner we go, the sooner we'll be back." The kid's temper came and went quickly, and he jumped off Icarus and ran quickly towards the aquarium. "Hey, wait for me, Xioxia. This kid is always so impatient." If you're not in a hurry, you can also come and watch our performance. I'll excuse myself first." After saying this, Icarus also rushed to the aquarium. Since there was nothing to do, Zhang Yu followed the two and went to watch the performance. They soon arrived at the aquarium. There were already many visitors waiting at the door. Changpu took Zhang Yu and entered through the staff passage next to it. The aquarium has a large space, with a huge pool in the middle surrounded by glass. There are already many water Pokémon waiting inside. Zhang Yu was arranged to sit in the backstage because he agreed to Changpu's request. "Xia Xia! Don't be so willful next time. Big sister Mutant has a headache because this little sister is so naughty." Okay, I got it." Xioxia stuck out her tongue and looked at her second sister expectantly. Icarus gave her an okay gesture. At this time, the third sister Yinghua gently pushed open the door and said softly, "Sister, we can get ready to go on stage. The performance is about to begin." "Okay, Let's go. Several people changed into their performance costumes and came to the stage. The audience below has already taken their seats waiting for the performance. The eldest sister Mutin first expressed her gratitude to the audience, then nodded behind her, and the lights dimmed instantly. Stars appeared in the pool, and the four sisters jumped into the water one by one. Accompanied by music, they interacted with Pokémon such as the little sea lion and starfish, performing a Pokémon version of the Little Mermaid. Of course the mermaid is Xioxia. Although she controls herself very well, Zhang Yu can still see that she is not used to such a cute image. Children nowadays have their own personalities. The Satoshi and Shamo I met back then, as well as the Misty now, all have distinct personalities, instead of spending all their time studying and looking like adults at a young age. The performance lasted for 2 hours. After the last scene, all the lights were turned on, and the four sisters and all the Pokémon bowed to the audience. It's so great. It's definitely a good idea to come to Cerulean City to watch the show. I love Big Sister Peony so much. The audience also cooperated by clapping and cheering. After the performance, Xioxia took her elder and second sisters and ran to Zhang Yu excitedly. Big sis! Can I join the battle now? Xioxia looked up at Mutin. Oh, there's really nothing I can do about you. Mutin glanced at Icarus with a reproachful look. She didn't expect that her second sister would agree to Xioxia's outrageous request. Hehe, I just want Xioxia to be obedient. Icarus smiled embarrassedly. Thank you for agreeing to compete. Otherwise, this performance might not have been completed successfully. Then please follow me next. Zhang Yu nodded and followed the three people's steps and returned to the Hualan Gym. The Cerulean Gym tournament is similar to the Dark Grey Gym tournament, except for the venue. This side is a large pool with several platforms in the water for non-water type Pokémon to stand on. You came alone this time. Mutin remembered that there was a girl with Zhang Yu last time, but she didn't ask much. It's better not to meddle in other people's affairs. Xioxia couldn't wait to stand on the opposite side. Hehe. Let me show you how powerful the future water Pokémon master is. Although the opponent was a child, Zhang Yu did not underestimate it. It was a competition. He had to take it 100% seriously. Very queen. It's decided to be you. Dafu. A red light flashed, and the Queen of Flowers landed accurately on the platform. If you don't use the attribute restraint, you are a fool. Xioxia took Mutin's Pokeball and threw it out. You're my partner today. Come on, little sea lion. Xioxia shouted with full energy. A white sea lion with its tongue hanging out floated in the water. Boo! Looking back at Xioxia, the little sea lion nodded and responded to her call. Chapter 49, Unreliable Icarus and Generous Xioxia. Vampire, Seed Bomb. Zhang Yu planned to test the little sea lion's strength first. Several large seeds fell into the water and exploded violently, splashing large amounts of water. Little sea lion. Xioxia was given a warning at the very beginning, and the little sea lion was swayed around in the water by the shock wave. I won't give up. Frozen wind. Hearing Xioxia's order, the little sea lion steadied its body and exhaled a burst of icy mist. Zhang Yu was also shocked by the power of the seed bomb. It turned out that the Queen of Flowers was so powerful. Venom Blast. The Queen of Flowers opened her mouth and purple venom spurted out, colliding with the ice mist. While blocking the attack, the ice was frozen into poisonous pieces and fell into the water. Boo! The little sea lion quickly climbed onto the platform to prevent poisoning. Xioxia realized that she seemed to have lost the advantage of the water system. Is grass poison so disgusting? The little sea lion that cannot enter the water becomes the carp king on the chopping board. She was successfully sent away under the continuous attacks of Queen of Flowers' magic leaves. Come back, little sea lion. The defeat in the first round made Misty a little discouraged, but she quickly cheered up and released the second Pokémon. Spiny Shell, come out. A shell-shaped Pokémon with spikes on its body stood on the platform. Isn't this Sanmiai's Pokémon? Did you lend it to Xioxia? Peony asked, looking at Icarus. Third sister is busy, so I just happened to borrow it for use, hehe. Having learned from the lesson just now, Xioxia did not let the spiny clam go into the water again, but changed her method. Use the freeze beam to freeze the pool. The spiny clam shot a white beam of light from the spikes on its head towards the pool. After a few seconds, most of the pool had been frozen into ice. Ready for close combat. Zhang Yu did not stop the other party's behavior. After all, it would be more convenient for the queen flower to move if the water in the pool turned into ice. Crack! The thorny clam jumped onto the ice and confronted the queen of flowers. Now is the real battle. Thorny shell, use ice cones. Zioxia commanded. Several ice cones emerged from the spikes on the thorny shell, and with a shake of its body, the ice cones shot towards the queen of flowers. Vakera, block it. Seed machine gun. Defo. A series of seeds were fired to block the ice cone attack. Crack! After shooting out the ice cone, the thorny shell slid over quickly. Shell blade. The spikes on its head grew longer and transformed into energy blades that slashed at the body of the Queen of Flowers. Zhang Yu had to admit that Zioxia's tactics were pretty good, but... Paralyzing powder. The Queen of Flowers was hit by the water-type shell blade, but did not receive much damage. Instead, it was easier for the thorny clam to be inflicted with negative status at close range. Pa! But what was unexpected was that the spiny clam was covered in paralyzing powder, but still looked calm. It's the dust-proof property. Mutant saw the clue. The dust-proof property can make one immune to powder-based moves. And the paralysis powder just happens to be of this type. As expected, Misty is the one with the strongest combat talent among us. Icarus didn't expect that her sister could utilize the characteristics of Pokémon in this way. Dust-proof. Having lost control of the powder, Zhang Yu had to fight more seriously. Ahahaha. Thorny shell, continuous shell blades. Hearing her sister's words, Zioxia smiled awkwardly. In fact, she didn't understand the characteristics, it was just a coincidence. Crack! The thorny shell continued to swing the spikes on its head to attack the Queen of Flowers. But who said I only have the powder to use? Queen Flower is extremely poisonous. After dodging a slash, the Queen of Flowers sprayed a mouthful of venom at the thorny clam. Shrink into your shell! Zioxia shouted. The clam closed its shell instantly, and the venom slowly slid down the shell, but did not hurt the clam's body. Is it possible? Zhang Yu witnessed the new abilities of Pokémon. Is there nothing I can do if you hide? Blow it up with the seed bomb. Boom! Following Zhang Yu's order, several seed bombs hit the shells of the spiny clams. Each seed bomb produced a huge explosive force, blowing the hard shells to pieces. The spiny clam hid in its shell, but was unable to avoid the fierce attack and could only be shaken dizzy in its shell. The ice surface was also shattered by the bombing, revealing the poisonous pool water. Pa! Come on, Scorpion! Misty shouted anxiously. She tried to help Scorpion through the trainer's skills, but to little avail. However, despite such a fierce attack, the spiny clam still held its ground and did not open its shell. Throw it into the water. Seeing that the attack was unsuccessful, Zhang Yu decided to adopt a more radical strategy. He ordered the Queen Flower to throw the thorny shell into the poisonous water. No! Zioxia shouted in panic, use shell break. If the clam is thrown into the water, it will die slowly. Only on the ice will it have a chance to fight its enemies. Snap! At the critical moment, the spiny clam suddenly opened its shell, and a spiny clam smaller than the original one jumped out. Defo! Queen Flower looked at the empty shells in her hands in surprise, at a loss. Wow, what a magical move! Zhang Yu couldn't help but exclaim in admiration. Zioxia is quite flexible in her mastery of moves. She doesn't look like a 6-year-old girl at all. Freezing beam. Because of the shell breaking, the attack and speed of the spiny clam are improved. A beam of light thicker than the previous one shot towards the Queen of Flowers like lightning. Hold on! A green curtain of light blocked the attack. Petal dance. Since the opponent's speed increased, Zhang Yu decisively used AoE to clear the field. The blade-like petals were flying indiscriminately on the field. We also use hold. A layer of green film also covered the front of the thorny clam, blocking the damage from the petal dance. However, petal dance is not a one-time attack. The continuously rotating grass energy keeps cutting the green film. Snapped. With a crisp sound, the energy shield was broken. Crack! The decrease in defense caused by breaking the shell caused the spiny shell to suffer more damage. Now, Sunbeam. Defo. The crown of the queen flower gathered energy, and with a bang, it was released, knocking away the thorny shellfish that was unable to move immediately due to injury. Come back, spiny shell, you're already great. Finally it's you. Gem starfish. Zioxia flipped her hand and took out the last poke ball. Quay. A red light flashed, and a Seduc came out. Hey! Why is it Seduc? Zioxia widened her eyes and looked at the silly duck in front of her. Ah! Shaking its head, Seduc seemed unsure why it appeared here. It remembered that it was sleeping in its nest. Let's go back to before the game. Sakura came to the gym and saw a Seduc sleeping in the corner, with its poke ball next to it. Isn't this the Seduc that big sister just subdued to learn performance? Why is it sleeping here? Sakura picked up the poke ball, took the lazy duck back, and put it together with the poke balls on the cabinet. After a while, Ayam came over and selected Pokémon. Which 3 Pokémon should I give to Misty? Baby sea lions, spiny shells, and this. Icarus took the poke ball that was supposed to contain the gem starfish, but unexpectedly, Seduc and the gem starfish were mixed together. Never mind. Seduc, use your telekinesis. Zioxia gave the command with all her might. Quay. Seduc scratched his head in a silly way, looking at Amazon with lifeless eyes, as if he didn't understand Misty's instructions. Forward. Looking at the somewhat dramatic scene in front of him, Zhang Yu was stunned for a moment, but still ordered the Amazon to continue the attack. Use the leaf blade. He was afraid that if he used too much force, Pikachu would turn into duck slices. Swish. The 2 blades shave off a layer of hair on the duck's butt. Kook. Seduc screamed in fear and ran away, holding his butt. He had no will to fight at all. Come back, Seduc. I lost. Although Zioxia was speechless, she still conceded defeat. The strength of the queen flower was indeed very strong, and even if she replaced it with the gem starfish, she might not win. Alas! Second sister is still so unreliable. Misty walked over dejectedly and returned the poke ball to Icarus. Wow, I'm sorry, Zioxia. It's all my fault that I took the wrong poke ball. Icarus knelt down and hugged Zioxia, apologizing sincerely. Okay, Icarus, go buy Zioxia some ice cream. You're so grown up, but you're still so clumsy. Mutant took out a teardrop-shaped badge and placed it in Zhang Yu's hand. Ayu, your queen flower is well cultivated. You are totally worthy of this water drop badge. Although he had an attribute advantage, Zhang Yu was still very happy to get the badge. Although Zioxia lost, she also fulfilled her little wish to fight, and soon went happily to buy ice cream with Icarus. Phew, not bad. Zhang Yu breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Zioxia was sensible. If she cried after losing the game, he would have a headache. So, I got the water badge. After putting the badge into his backpack and saying goodbye to Mutin, Zhang Yu strolled along the streets of Hualan City. It seems that because the Moon Viewing Festival is approaching, many small stalls related to the festival have appeared on the street, selling small items such as moon cakes and Pippi dolls. Hey, Ayu, long time no see. Wow, you already have 2 badges, that's awesome. By the way, I sent you some gifts. They will probably arrive soon. Remember to check them. Yeah, okay, let's stop here for now. I have to be busy again. Bye. After hanging up the phone, Zhang Yu just shared his experience with Lilie, but the other party just chatted for a while and then went back to work. Speaking of gifts, the Moon Viewing Festival is coming soon, and I have to prepare some gifts for my friends. Chapter 50, Choosing Gifts and the Golden Metropolis. After walking around Hualan City, I still couldn't find a suitable gift for my friend. Zhang Yu opened the navigator and checked the latest news from Guandu. Shocked. The Pokémon breeding house actually lets Pokémon do this kind of thing. Avoid the lightning. The Vermilion Gym is suspected of deliberately blocking the badge and crushing the challenger with a powerful Pokémon. Breaking news. Moon Viewing Festival. 88% off on items at Silford Shopping Center. You know what, this navigator is really convenient. I clicked on the first message and it turned out to be a Pokémon race in the Pokémon breeding house. Are there title parties in another world? But, Silver Spring Shopping Center? It sounds very classy. After checking carefully with the navigator, Zhang Yu found out that this shopping mall was located on the first and second floors of the largest silver company in Jinhuang City. And Jinhuang City is the largest and busiest city in all of Kanto. Since it's so famous, there must be a lot of things there that are suitable as gifts. Thinking of this, Zhang Yu quickly left Hualien City and rode on Rhino Boss to Jinhuang City. The distance between the two cities is not far. Just as it was evening, Zhang Yu arrived at the landmark of Huangjin City. A tall sign reads, "Golden yellow means the shining and brilliant color of gold." So domineering. Zhang Yu couldn't help but sigh, then he put the unicorn back into the pokeball and entered the city with other passers-by. Although it was almost evening, the scene in the city seemed to still be in the daytime, with bustling crowds and all kinds of Pokémon everywhere. People were walking with different expressions, carrying large and small bags in their hands. There were also some white-collar workers in suits and ties, followed closely by Secretary Gardevoir, holding thick folders in their arms, and hurriedly walked into the company building. The neon lights on both sides of the street kept flashing, illuminating the entire night sky as if it were daytime. This scale is totally incomparable to Hualien City. Zhang Yu couldn't help but feel a sense of novelty like Granny Lu entering the Grand View Garden. The Silford Shopping Center is very easy to find. Just walk along the main road and the tallest and most magnificent building will be your destination. Most pedestrians were walking in that direction. Zhang Yu followed the crowd and soon arrived at the gate of the shopping mall. Wow, go! So many products! As soon as you enter the door, you will see full shelves and a lot of people choosing products inside. Zhang Yu thought about his friends. He didn't know where Zhang was. There was nothing he could do. We can't forget Yumi-san, Xiaowu, Lily, Ai, Xiaogang, Dr. Uchiki, and Dr. Oak. In short, he thought of all the friends who had some interactions with Zhang Yu. After all, he was a time traveler, and it would be easier to get things done if he had more friends. He even prepared a gift for Das Han. After choosing for a long time, I finally decided on what to buy and almost filled my backpack. Zhang Yu also found her own perfume made from the nectar of the Queen of Flowers in the shopping mall. You can send a bottle of perfume to Lilia. Go to the Pokémon Courier Company and send the items to the recipient's local Pokémon Center according to the address. The courier will then come to notify you to pick up the item. By the way, Mr. Au, here is a package for you. I wanted to take it to the Pokémon Center, but you happened to be here. The staff stopped Zhang Yu who wanted to leave and put a box in front of him. This is. Look at the sender and address above. Lilia, sent from the Duan branch office. Okay, thank you. It is indeed my delivery. Taking the package, Zhang Yu came to the Pokémon Center in Golden City to stay for one night. Drib. As soon as I sat down on the bed, the Pokémon navigator rang. Hello? Who is that? Zhang Yu asked after answering the phone. Hello, good evening, Au. I'm Lily Ai. I saw that you have received my package, right? Hearing Lilia's voice coming from the phone, Zhang Yu looked at the box on the bedside. Yes, but I haven't had time to open it yet. Haha, it's okay. Inside is Devon's latest storage backpack. It uses the power of space Pokémon and can hold a lot of things without weighing them down. I thought you were still traveling, this might be helpful. Lilia spoke quickly, seeming to be still busy. Come in, what's the matter, Dazaijan, holding, old rival. As she was talking, Lilia seemed to be listening to her subordinate's work reports again. Well, Lilia, you go ahead and do your work. I'll figure out how to use it myself. Thank you. Zhang Yu said to the navigator. Well, I'll report later. Haha, okay Au, if you have any problem with the backpack just call me, I'm still busy, let's not talk for now. Lilia hung up the phone. It's really not easy, but this storage backpack, let me take a look. He quickly opened the box and found a black backpack inside that was a size smaller than his current bag. I took out the backpack and an instruction manual fell out of the box. Putting things in categories makes it easier to find. There is a small screen inside the backpack that can show the location of items to prevent you from putting too many items in and losing track of them. Pokémon technology is amazing. Zhang Yu was surprised again. It turned out that the world with Pokémon was really different. Soon it was the next day, and Zhang Yu was ready to visit this bustling city. Since he was already here, how could he not have some fun? He stopped and walked along the way, and took out the Pokémon book to record every unfamiliar Pokémon he saw, which really broadened Zhang Yu's horizons. Golden City also pays close attention to the Moon Festival. I didn't notice it last night, but during the day I found that there was a Pippi balloon hanging on each street lamp. There were also many trainers checking in and taking photos. It seems there are 2 more gyms here. The map shows that there is a superpower gym and a fighting gym in Golden City. However, they are all recorded as very strong, so Zhang Yu has no plans to challenge them for the time being, but he can go and take a look. Boom boom boom. Perhaps because the festival was approaching, no one came to challenge the fighting dojo. Oi! Are you here to challenge the gym's trainer? Suddenly, a young man wearing a headband and training clothes walked out from a small door next to him. The challenge is temporarily suspended for the time being because of the Moon Festival, but you can come and visit the dojo. The young man waved his hand, indicating that Zhang Yu could come in and take a look. Following him through the small door, the interior was in a standard Japanese dojo style. On the wall opposite the door hung a couplet, besieged on all sides, karma pays off. There are many people wearing training clothes training inside. Hey, Nobuhiko! Another challenger. Someone greeted the young man. No, I'm a trainer who's here to visit. By the way, what's your name? Xinyan asked Zhang Yu. Just call me a Yu, there are quite a lot of people in your gym. The air in the room was a bit stuffy, so Zhang Yu fanned it with his hands. Ha ha ha, that's right, because our gym leader is very strong. Everyone wants to come and learn his moves. As he spoke, Xinyan brought a bench to Zhang Yu. That's great. Golden City is a big city after all. It actually has 2 gyms. When Xinyan heard Zhang Yu mention 2 gyms, his expression seemed a little unnatural. What's wrong, Nobuhiko? Chapter 51, Past Events at the Dojo and Karate King Wuda. Seeing Zhang Yu's curious look, Xinyan said slowly, many people know about this matter. There is nothing to hide. Our fighting gym has always been in competition with the Golden Gym next door. Because the Alliance wants to improve the quality of the gym, there will be qualification inspections every year, and gyms that fail will be cancelled. Because the Golden Gym is a psychic gym, everyone wants to learn superpowers, and as a fighting gym, we are not so popular. Speaking of this, Nobuhiko was somewhat disdainful. What kind of superpower is that? I think he just used his strength to bend the spoon. His face turned red. Is that so? Zhang Yu nodded. Indeed, it would be a mess if anyone could open a gym. But when he looked at the many people and Pokémon punching and kicking in the training ground, he felt that the popularity was not low. Hey, Nobuhiko, is this the trainer who's here to challenge the gym? A deep voice came from the side. Zhang Yu turned around and saw a muscular man in training clothes walking over. Ah, master, his name is Au. He wanted to challenge me, but we have suspended the challenge. So I will bring him here for a tour. Xinyan turned around and introduced Zhang Yu. This is our dojo master, Mr. Karate King Wuda. Zhang Yu stretched out his hand. Hello, Mr. Wang Wuyud, I'm Au. Hello, I'm Wuyud. After a moment of silence, Wuda still shook hands with Zhang Yu. Zhang Yu realized that he seemed to have called the wrong name just now and felt a little embarrassed. It was all because Xinyan kept talking just now. At this time, Wuda spoke up to break the awkwardness. You are here to visit the fighting dojo, right? It's okay. It's almost the moon viewing festival, so I have a lot of free time. As Wuda spoke, he took Zhang Yu to another room, and Xinyan followed behind. When I opened the door, I saw a room filled with sandbags and some Pokémon were practicing boxing inside. Would you like to try it? Wuda asked. Okay. Zhang Yu thought for a moment and released Tyrannosaurus Rex. Currently, Tyrannosaurus Rex was the only Pokémon with hands. Defo. Amazon Flower imitated the Electabuzz next to it and pushed the sandbag, but the sandbag swung back and hit it. Ha ha ha. So cute. Wuda laughed and walked over to give instructions. Defo. After receiving the instructions, Amazon stood up again and attacked the sandbag, but this time the previous incident did not happen. After going back and forth a few times, it rubbed its hands, which were hurt by the rough sandbag. Defo, W. The female boss ran to Zhang Yu for comfort. Why are you suddenly acting like a spoiled brat? Zhang Yu blew on his hand, then thought of something and said, since it hurts to use your hand, why not wrap it up, Hey, I have an idea. Wu De also came over curiously to listen to Zhang Yu's words. Valley Flower, why don't you try to gather the energy of the sunlight blade on your hands to form a protective film? Defo. Amazon first conjured up the sunlight blade move in her hand, and then tried to cover the move on her hand. Pop! The sunlight blade suddenly interrupted after shrinking to a certain extent. It seems that it is not that simple. Amazon was a little disappointed, but Wu De seemed to have discovered something. Ayu, your queen flower has strong control. It's not easy to change the form of a move, but it understood the meaning the first time. Maybe, if you practice for a while, you can really succeed. Wu De is not someone who has never seen the world. For example, fighting-type Pokémon can incorporate different moves into karate techniques, which is quite common. But for grass-type energy, it's a bit difficult. After hearing Wu De's words, Zhang Yu encouraged Amazon to try a few more times. Defo. Finally, after trying more than 20 times, Queen of Flowers successfully covered her arm with the sunlight blade. Snapped. The little hand slapped the sandbag and actually cut a hole in it. The Queen Flower retracted her energy and looked at Zhang Yu with some concern. Ah, this. Zhang Yu was about to say that he would compensate, but Wu De waved his hand. Even though the sunlight blade has changed its energy state, it is still sharp? This is a new discovery. However, Zhang Yu was just letting Amazon Prime play with him. If he wanted to fight in close combat, it would be better to use blade-shaped moves. After all, an inch longer is an inch stronger. Ha ha ha, you are young after all, you have a lot of ideas. You have provided me with a new idea for practice. Wu De said with a smile, and then took Zhang Yu to visit other training rooms, some of which were specifically used to practice balance, some were specifically used to practice reaction ability, and so on. After getting Wu De's consent, Zhang Yu released the black seahorse and the unicorn beetle. The rhino boss was too strong and it was a bit inconvenient to keep it here, so he did not release it. Thank you, Master. Then, let's start training today. Zhang Yu waved his hand and said enthusiastically, such a good opportunity cannot be wasted. Ha! The black seahorse cried out, and then quickly jumped from one wooden stake to another, trying hard to practice his balance. Ha ha! During the last jump, the black seahorse wanted to turn around to show off, but his body was unstable and he was about to fall down. Defo. The Queen of Flowers slid down the grass, flashed under the black seahorse, and caught it with her crown. Defo. Defo. Ha! Looking at the pretty girl who was taking care of her like an adult, Zhang Yu felt relieved and couldn't help but smile. On the other hand, the unicorn worm kept twisting its body and running around the pillar in an S shape. After reaching the finish line, he slowly returned to Zhang Yu, appearing very calm. Ouch! Too many experts, I'm hiding. After a day of training, several Pokémon have made some small improvements. In the evening, in order to reward his Pokémon, Zhang Yu went directly to the Golden Hotel to spend some money. Everyone has made great progress. Let's continue tomorrow. Anyway, the holiday is still several days away, so we can't slack off in training. Wu De also welcomed Zhang Yu. Because of his presence, the Pokémon in the dojo worked harder, fearing that it would be embarrassing to be surpassed by Pokémon from other places. Chapter 52, Superpower Little Girl and Evolution? Zhang Yu has some money now. Although he can't afford to eat delicacies every day, it's no problem for him to have a meal at a high-end restaurant occasionally. So today, he came to the famous Golden Hotel in Golden City, intending to reward himself and his Pokémon. This, and this. Zhang Yu looked at the menu and ordered dishes from the waiter. After returning the menu to the waiter, Zhang Yu released his Pokémon from the Poke Ball. As soon as they came out, they looked around excitedly, full of curiosity about this place. Zhang Yu smiled and patted their heads, then let them sit at the table and wait for their food to be served. Rhino Boss was still waiting to be packed up. There was no other way. The restaurant had a rule that non-human Pokémon over 1.5 meters in length could not be served at the table to avoid lack of space. But the Rhino Boss doesn't mind, as long as he has delicious food. Big brother, can I touch your black seahorse? Just as Zhang Yu was looking around, a child's voice came from the side. Eh? Looking down, he saw a little girl with a mushroom-like haircut holding a doll in her arms and asking him. Kid, where are your parents? Zhang Yu looked around, but no one was waiting. Are parents so carefree nowadays? My parents will be here soon, I'll come here by myself first. The mushroom-headed girl puffed out her chest as if she was very proud. The child is quite independent, Zhang Yu called Mo Hai Ma. Oi, Mo Hai Ma, this little girl likes you very much, come and say hello to her. Zhang Yu waved his hand, wanting to hold the black seahorse for her to see. It's okay, big brother, I can do it myself. The little girl waved her hands, and her eyes suddenly glowed blue. Hi! The black seahorse flew up due to a mysterious force and slowly floated in front of the little girl. What is this? A superpower. Zhang Yu instantly thought of the superpower gym that Wu De mentioned. No, I really have superpowers. No wonder everyone wants to learn it, it's so cool. The little girl ignored Zhang Yu's surprise and started playing with the seahorse and the doll. The people and Pokémon around seemed to have gotten used to it and didn't make a fuss about it. Wow, Pokémon is really a hidden talent. Seeing that no one was surprised, Zhang Yu also accepted this setting. Sir, this is the food you ordered, please enjoy. The waiter brought the dishes to the table and was about to leave when he suddenly stopped in surprise. Eh? Miss Nazi, why are you here alone? However, the little girl named Nazi ignored her and continued to immerse herself in her own world. Do you know her? Zhang Yu asked. Yes, Miss Nazi is the daughter of the Golden Gym leader. She has had a strong talent for supernatural powers since she was a child, so she is quite famous in Golden City. Many people know her. Hey! Here come Miss Nazi's parents. The waiter pointed forward and said to the two people who hurried over. I'm sorry that our little Nazi has caused you trouble. Her mother and I are looking for her. Nazi's father said apologetically. Nazi's parents then chatted briefly with Zhang Yu, and they got to know each other. They expressed their gratitude for helping them look after their child. They could go to the Golden Gym to play when they have time. Before leaving, Nancy said goodbye to Ink Seahorse reluctantly. There was a small incident, but it did not disturb Zhang Yu's big meal plan. Because seahorses and unicorn worms don't have hands, it's not very convenient to eat them. Zhang Yu and Amazon used one of their free hands to feed them with a spoon. Woo, it's so delicious. Hornworms live in the forest for a long time, chewing leaves every day. How could they have ever eaten these fine bran? I was eating happily when suddenly white light came out of my body. Hi! No, eating can also evolve. The black seahorse sitting opposite the unicorn worm widened his eyes. He was clearly the second one to join the team, so how come even his little brother, the unicorn worm, had evolved? Zhang Yu stared at the unicorn beetle with his mouth wide open. Is the evolution of insects so random? After a few seconds, a yellow pupa appeared in its place. Well, this is surprisingly similar to Earth. Zhang Yu took out the illustrated guide and pointed it at the pupa. Ding Iron Shellcun is a metamorphosis of the unicorn beetle before it becomes an adult. Although it does not know how to move, you have to be careful of its metamorphosis. I touched the shell of the unicorn beetle after it evolved. It felt a little soft after it evolved. But after a few minutes, it became very hard. Zhang Yu knocked on it with his hand. It made a sound like knocking on iron. So what if the child has no mouth? Can he eat? Zhang Yu took a closer look and found that it was covered tightly, except for the eyes. This pupa had no place to eat. In this case, we can only put it back into the poke ball. The remaining person and two Pokémon quickly finished off the food. Zhang Yu came to the Pokémon Center with Iron Shellcun's poke ball. Ding beep, beep beep. After the inspection instrument made a series of noises, Miss Joy returned the poke ball to Zhang Yu. Iron Shellcun is very healthy. Just wait quietly for a while and it will evolve into a giant bee. Don't worry. After expressing his gratitude, Zhang Yu returned to his residence. Unexpectedly, the evolution of the unicorn beetle was the thing that gave him the least worries. The bug type is really convenient. No wonder so many bug-catching boys want to catch bug-type Pokémon. Maybe it's because of this reason. In the next few days, Zhang Yu often took Pokémon to Uncle Wu's dojo for training, and he would also exercise with others. Endurance has increased a lot. During this period, we also went to the Golden Gym, which was also in a resting state and did not accept challengers. However, Naz's parents welcomed his arrival, and little Naz had friends to play with again. When Zhang Yu visited the Golden Gym, he also discovered what Xin Yan said using superpowers to bend the spoon. The uncle's face turned red, and he finally bent the spoon with his thumb. In short, as long as the result is right, isn't that enough? Zhang Yu showed a powerful smile. After many twists and turns, the Moon Viewing Festival is coming soon. Zhang Yu did not forget his promise with Das Han, so he rented a Pidgeot in Jinhua City and flew to Yuejian Mountain. First, he went to Deep Grey City to return the Pidgeot. Deep Grey City also had many Pippi balloons hanging. Zhang Yu paid a simple visit to Xiao Gang and gave him and his brothers and sisters small gifts. Then he rode on the Rhino Boss and headed towards the village that Das Han mentioned. Soon they arrived at the village behind Mt Tsukimi. The small village was very quiet and not many people came here usually. However, Zhang Yu's figure riding on the one-horned rhinoceros did attract people's attention. Hey! Ayu, I'm here. Das Han and Shaorong were helping to hang lanterns at the entrance of the village and saw Zhang Yu at a glance. Long time no see Das Han. How are you doing lately? After bumping fists with Das Han, Zhang Yu saw that he was in good spirits and should have broken through the bottleneck. Ha ha ha, thanks to your words, Shaorong, and I have become more coordinated. Cha. Shaorong also nodded to express his gratitude. By the way, let's go to the village and play together. We are almost done now. We are just waiting for the Moon Viewing Festival party tomorrow night. Das Han greeted Zhang Yu warmly, making Zhang Yu feel as if he was back home. Chapter 53, The Miraculous Doctor of Rejuvenation, and the Water Gun Master, Mo Haima. The small village is called Shita Village. There are only more than 20 households in the village with a population of no more than 100 people, who are basically all elderly people and children. Most of the young people have gone to other cities to work. Of course, there are still a small number of people who choose to stay in the village. They will dig some beautiful stones from the nearby Yuejian mountain and sell them to collectors or tourists. During this festival, many young people came back to reunite with their families. The atmosphere of the festival was very strong in the village. Zhang Yu and Das Han went to visit Das Han's grandmother. Although the old lady lived in a simple but warm house, putting the gifts prepared in advance in the house stopped Das Han's polite behavior. It's just a small token of my appreciation. It's a holiday, no need to be so polite. Patting Das Han on the shoulder, Zhang Yu turned to his grandmother and said, You're welcome, Grandma. It would be rude to visit an elder without a gift. Just accept it. The old man wanted to keep Zhang Yu for dinner, but suddenly there was some noise outside, interrupting everyone's conversation. A middle-aged man hurried past the door holding a child. Das Han saw this and hurriedly called out, Uncle Aja, what's wrong? Then he ran out to check the situation, followed by Zhang Yu. Xiao Wei went to the back hill to play by himself and was bitten by a gulp. Now he is poisoned and unconscious. I have to take him to the Pokémon Center as soon as possible. The uncle called Aja was running quickly while speaking, looking very anxious. Their family was following behind them, all with faces full of tension and worry. I'll go too. Das Han said, and prepared to go to the hospital with them. Zhang Yu thought of something and suddenly called out to them, Wait a minute. I have a solution. He quickly released his Queen Flower and said, Queen Flower, use aromatherapy on Xiao Wei. Deifu. The Queen Flower gently shakes its petals, emitting a sweet fragrance. Just a few seconds later. Dad Mom. Xiao Yi, who was originally unconscious, gradually saw the bruises on his face fade away, and he slowly opened his eyes. Das Han and the people around him widened their eyes in surprise. Xiao Yi. You finally woke up. Uncle Aja said excitedly while holding Xiao Yi. Thank you, thank you. Although Aja's family didn't know Zhang Yu, they all expressed their gratitude excitedly. Dr. Hua is a miracle doctor. The crowds that came over were surprised at how awesome the Amazon was and they all praised her. Deifu, although Amazon didn't understand what everyone was saying, she still responded happily. To be on the safe side, you should take Xiao Yi to the Pokémon Center again. Zhang Yu suggested, and Aja and the others kept thanking him before leaving. As expected, my guess is correct. The healing skills of other Pokémon can also be used on humans, not just the nutritional eggs of Chandler. Zhang Yu thought to himself, if that's the case, I can open a Bawanghua clinic in the future, if that's possible. After the little storm passed, everyone went back to their homes and looked for their mothers. Das Han said hello to Grandma and took Zhang Yu to visit other places in the village. Ayu, your Tyrannosaurus Rex is so powerful. I also want to capture a grass-type Pokémon. Looking at the pretty girl following Zhang Yu, Das Han said enviously. Of course, my Pokémon are all very capable. When others praise your own children, you must support them. Deifu. I'm so brave. When Amazon heard the compliment, she patted her chest and said that she was indeed great. The cute look made the two laugh non-stop. When we arrived at the small square in the village, we saw many children because more people came back to the village for the festival. Many children were playing water fights in the square. Brother Das Han, watch out! A child fired a water gun at the mountain, but was dodged by a man who turned around. Hey, I'm a ninja. Such a simple water gun is useless to me. What about this? Sizzle. A group of children were chasing after the big mountain water gun and playing together. It's so cozy. There was some envy in Zhang Yu's eyes. Ayu, look at the gun. A stream of water wet Zhang Yu's hair. Das Han was standing not far away, laughing. Good boy. Ink Seahorse, let's go. Zhang Yu wiped his hair and released the black seahorse to fight the mountain together with him. Ha ha ha, come chase me. When Das Han and the children behind him saw Zhang Yu release the Mohama and disobey the moral code of martial arts, they all ran away. Ha chi! How dare you, a scoundrel, talk so much here? Half an hour later, Zhang Yu was exhausted and out of breath, with a large area of his body wet. The black seahorse became more and more courageous as the fight went on, chasing the little brats away in all directions. Ha ha ha, Das Han, surrender! Mohama, well done! Yes, yes, spray water on Das Han's butt! Ha ha! The black seahorse had a lot of fun, using its high-speed movement to continuously fire water guns. Deifu. The female boss took out a tissue and gave it to Zhang Yu. Ah, thank you, Amazon. After taking the tissue and wiping his wet hair, Zhang Yu sat down on the ground without caring about his image. Phew, I haven't been this happy in a long time. Thank you for being with me. Zhang Yu said in a low voice. He has been in the Pokémon world for so long, maybe it's luck, but the people and things he meets are all good. How lucky! If Li Ziyi could come, he would be so happy. Zhang Yu thought of his roommate who was a Pokémon fan. He shook his head to dispel the unrealistic thoughts. He couldn't control the time travel. Come out, Rhino Boss, Iron Shell Kun. After releasing the two Pokémon, Zhang Yu and Amazon took out towels and brushes to wipe their bodies. These two are now armor-type Pokémon, and their skin is as hard as stone. They should be fine after some wiping and maintenance. Deifu. The Queen Flower was singing an unknown flower song, and brushing the carapace of the unicorn with a small brush. Hoo-ha! The one-horned rhino looks like he's enjoying himself and seems to be feeling good. Zhang Yu gently wiped Taikikan's body with a towel. Although he couldn't speak, Taikikan gently shook his body, obviously he liked this way of doing things. Wow! What a feel! The Iron Shell Kun, whose forehead was rubbed to a bright shine, was being held in Zhang Yu's hand. It was round and smooth, and felt great. Hi! The black seahorse had ended the battle at some point and came to Zhang Yu's side. He looked at them curiously. Hey, have you had enough fun? Zhang Yu said, pointing at the unicorn rhinoceros. Then please ask Seahorse and Queen Flower to help Rhino Boss clean his body. The Rhino Boss, who was originally lying on the ground enjoying himself, stood up immediately when he heard that the black seahorse was coming, and the young man stood at attention. Ha! The black seahorse approached the one-horned rhino with a sinister smile. The Rhino Boss's huge body instantly hid behind the Queen Flower leader. Deifu. Queen Flower patted the Rhino Boss's head to indicate that Seahorse was just joking. Ayu, your Pokémon are so harmonious and loving. Das Han also came over and saw this scene, feeling a little envious. Chaya Shaorung also nodded in agreement. Ha! Is there love in harmony? Hi, I just want to give my Pokémon a home. Zhang Yu said a little arrogantly. Ha ha ha. The small square was filled with a happy atmosphere. Chapter 54. Mysterious Seed and Sunlight Slash. Time passed quickly and in a blink of an eye it was the moon viewing festival party in Stone Village. The venue for the party was still in the small square in the center of the village, and many people had already gathered there. As the village chief counted down, when it reached 1, everyone released the balloons in their hands and the party officially began. It's called a party, but in fact it's just everyone getting together to chat about family matters and for the children to get to know each other. There are very few trainers. After all, most people live ordinary lives, and not everyone yearns for exciting adventures. They prefer to choose some small and cute Pokémon as their partners, such as Pikachu, Pidgeot, Clownpo, and Raccoon. These little guys were communicating happily in the venue, speaking their own language. Zhang Yu also released his Pokémon from the Pokeball and prepared a picnic with Das Han. As he was taking items out of his backpack, a small box accidentally fell to the ground. With a crisp sound, a seed and a scale in the box fell on the grass. Click! The sound attracted the attention of Queen Flower. It walked over curiously and wanted to pick up the things on the ground. However, when its hand touched the seed, something incredible happened. The seed disappeared without a trace in an instant. The Queen Flower widened her eyes and looked at her empty palm in confusion. No, how could I have such a big seed? What's wrong, Amazon? Zhang Yu noticed something unusual and asked hurriedly. Defo. Huh? You mean, the seeds disappear when they touch your hands? Zhang Yu was a little confused after listening to Amazon's explanation. Then are you feeling unwell? Amazon shook her head and didn't feel anything unusual. Hey? What's wrong, Au? Das Han also came over, and Zhang Yu told him what had just happened. Let me think, could it be a prop? Some memories suddenly flashed through Das Han's mind. Sha'arung, where is your aura cape? Cha. Sha'arung put his hands on his head and a piece of cloth appeared in his hands. Zhang Yu was very surprised to see it creating a strip of cloth out of nothing. This is the reward that Sha'arung and I received when we participated in the fighting competition. It allows Sha'arung to receive a fatal blow and retain the last bit of his strength. Each item has different abilities. I think your mysterious seed, Yu, is also an item. Das Han rubbed his chin and guessed. It's very possible, but as long as it doesn't harm the Queen of Flowers, it doesn't matter. I can't use it anyway, so it would be even better if it could be beneficial to Amazon. Defo. He touched the head of the Queen of Flowers to signal it not to blame itself. It was gone, so it was gone. As long as the child was happy, that was all that mattered. In that case, could this scale also be a prop? Zhang Yu picked up the blue scales on the ground and tried them on his Pokémon one by one, but nothing happened. As for this, Au, don't worry. I heard that some props can only be used when certain conditions are met. Das Han continued. Is that so? Hey, it's okay, let's continue with our picnic. No matter what, gold will always shine. What if it comes in handy someday? After taking back the scales, the two continued to prepare the ingredients. The party reached its climax with the picnic for the two, and everyone brought food or drinks from home to enjoy with their family, friends, and Pokémon. Zhang Yu also drank some fruit wine from the mountains. I heard it was made from peaches. It tasted sweet and not very concentrated, but he enjoyed it very much. After the festival the next day, many people returned to their posts and the village suddenly became deserted. Zhang Yu was also preparing to say goodbye to Das Han. Au, we'll see each other someday. I'm also planning to travel with Sha'arung to challenge gyms. Maybe you'll run into me at the next Quartz conference. Perhaps because of his frequent spiritual practice, Das Han is very open-minded about separation. Okay, I wish you a safe journey too. I won't tell Grandma about this and won't disturb her rest. Please give her my regards. Zhang Yu finally chatted with Das Han for a while, left Shitu village, and continued his journey. Then let's go to Yaheng City. It's a good opportunity to ask Yumin to help us see the effects of Overlord Honey. However, looking at the map, Zhang Yu was a little troubled. There was no direct road to Yaheng City. Either he had to go to Hualan City to rent a Pidgeot, or he could only get there quickly by passing through the forest in the middle. Let's go through the forest. Changing lines is too troublesome. Zhang Yu made up his mind to release the rhino boss and head south from Yuejian Mountain. After walking for a while, the way was blocked by some trees. A few trees were right in the middle of the road, with slightly raised hillsides and dense weeds on both sides. A group of young boys and girls have been stopped here, and it seems that they also want to take a shortcut to Yeheng City. Seeing Zhang Yu, a young man came over to talk to him. "Brother, are you going to Yeheng City as well?" The boy was followed by a Piku, and the young people behind him also had some small Pokémon. Looking at Zhang Yu riding the rhino boss, they more or less showed some fear and envy. For them, even if they capture a Pokémon like Rhino, it is difficult to make it obey them, let alone ride on it. "Yes, are you blocked? Why don't you take a detour?" Zhang Yu pointed to the hillside next to him. The boy explained, "Because if you walk on the side, you will have to turn a lot, and now this road is used by many people, it is the fastest and safest. But when we came here half a year ago, we were not blocked by trees." The boy was also confused. "Are trees growing so fast now? It would be nice if there was a Pokémon that could perform IAI/. A girl at the backside. They were all traveling to Yeheng City in a group, and wanted to experience traveling at the same time. If they were blocked, they would have to go back and change the route again. Zhang Yu took back the rhino and approached the tree that was blocking the way. There were several small Pokémon scratching at it, trying to damage the tree. But without professional skills, it is obviously futile. "Come back, Nidoran/Vulpix/Furble." The boys and girls took back their Pokémon and looked at Zhang Yu expectantly, hoping that he could get the tree away. Zhang Yu gestured the length and width and released the Overlord flower. "Well, maybe we can give this a try. Vakera, use the sunlight blade on the tree." Deifu. The Queen of Flowers quickly condensed energy in her hands, and a thick and long blade of light appeared in her hands. Brush. With one blow, deep cracks appeared on several large trees. "Wow! So strong!" The boys were stunned. "Is this the powerful power of Pokémon? Good job! Do it again!" Another blow of the knife, and with a loud rumbling sound, the tree was cut in half. "Okay, you can go now." Zhang Yu rode on the unicorn rhinoceros and headed towards Yeheng City, ignoring the exclamations behind him. Chapter 55. Yeheng University. And the flowers in the greenhouse. As expected, taking the shortcut was much faster. In just one day, Zhang Yu arrived in Yeheng City. The prosperity of Yeheng City is no less than that of Jinhuang City. This is because of the abundance of perfume and the presence of a grass-type Pokémon gym. The air in Yeheng City is also filled with a light fragrance. According to the address given by Yuman, Zhang Yu quickly arrived at a company. Yuman was already waiting at the door because they had informed each other of the meeting time. "Long time no see, Mr. Au." Yuman walked forward and shook hands with Zhang Yu. "Long time no see. I'm sorry to bother you with the appraisal this time." Zhang Yu released the queen flower, then took out a jar of amber nectar from his backpack and handed it to Yuman. "Okay, Mr. Au. As a supplier, nectar identification is free of charge." Yuman already understood Zhang Yu's needs, but she was still surprised to see the pretty girl next to him. What a big queen of flowers! It's a head taller than Miss Ljia's queen of flowers. Deifu. Amazon has a good memory and even said hello to Yuman. "Haha, hello, Amazon, I didn't expect you still remember me." Yuman responded as he walked up and touched its head. She did not ask any further questions about how Zhang Yu's queen flower had grown so big. Everyone has their own secrets, especially those about Pokémon. "Okay, Mr. Au, I won't bother you for now. The result will probably take 2 days to come out. Can I contact you then?" After getting a positive answer, Yuman entered the company with nectar. Zhang Yu went to the Pokémon Center to rest. Although Yeheng City is also very prosperous, it seems to be larger than Huangjin City and is not as crowded. The Pokémon Center still had the standard league style, but there was a long line in one corner. Pokémon fortune telling, 1000 yuan per time. Zhang Yu walked over curiously and saw a big sister in a witch's costume sitting in the corner with a sign like this in front of her. "I'll test it. It's so expensive." Zhang Yu complained in his heart, but are people in the Pokémon world also superstitious? Looking at the long line, he was a little surprised. Although Zhang Yu was afraid of ghosts and other things, he didn't really believe in divination and fortune-telling. He felt a little bored, so he went to the lounge on the second floor to prepare for bed. After Zhang Yu left, the witch seemed to have sensed something and murmured to herself, "Is this a person whose fate is like a mist? Hey, so there is a university in Yeheng City." Zhang Yu was very surprised. He didn't expect that there was a university in the Pokémon world. But after thinking about it, he realized that there must be a special educational institution for learning Pokémon knowledge. The next day he originally wanted to go see what a grass-type Pokémon gym looked like, but as he was walking he discovered the existence of Yeheng University. Now I have to go in and take a look. Zhang Yu still has a good impression of university and he misses the simple student days. Fortunately, Yeheng University is open to the public. After Zhang Yu showed his Pokémon encyclopedia, he successfully entered the school. The playgrounds, teaching buildings, students rushing to school, and couples dating in the woods are the same as on Earth. The difference is that Pokémon exist in many places and activities. Zhang Yu first visited the teaching building and saw a familiar photo on the wall: Professor Oak and Miss Joy. The former is a professor who has taught there, and the latter is a psychology expert. Except for the Pokémon laboratory, there are no restrictions on other places in Yeheng University. After visiting the teaching building, Zhang Yu came to the playground. The Yeheng playground is very large. Unlike the one on Earth, there are venues of various attributes here. Many students and visiting trainers are practicing battles. But, is this kind of battle too rigid? Zhang Yu watched a student using Pidgeot and fighting against his opponent's toucan with his toucan. Shouldn't we seize the opportunity to defeat the enemy with one blow? After Toussaint was hit by Pidgeot's wing attack, this student actually told the Pokémon to stop attacking and wait for the other Pokémon's feathers to recover. Hey! What's the meaning of that expression on your face? The two students also noticed Zhang Yu watching the game and wanted to pretend, but suddenly found that the other party had a sweaty expression and they immediately felt angry. It's okay, it's okay. You guys played well. I just suddenly thought of something. Speechless. Zhang Yu waved his hand, saying that he was just passing by and was just visiting. There was no point in arguing with the enthusiastic students. No. You have to explain clearly. When the student using the Pidgeot saw Zhang Yu retreat, he thought he was afraid and became more excited. Test. Are the students of Yeheng University so arrogant? Zhang Yu saw that the other party was getting excited, so he didn't need to be weak, so he said directly, "Are you playing house? Even if it's a practice match, shouldn't you go all out? Are you waiting for the opponent to recover? If we encountered a fierce Pokémon or something like that in the wild, we would probably have been torn to pieces by now. In fact, it is not the fault of these students' low combat quality. The main role of Yeheng University is to help students understand and study Pokémon. As for Pokémon battles, there will be special trainer schools to provide teaching. And fighting is not something you can really learn in school. You still have to travel, experience, and challenge yourself." The student who was scolded by Zhang Yu's face turned red. "What do you know? Come and have a Pokémon battle with me. I want to see how powerful you are." "Xiao Hao, don't be like this." Xiao Hao, who was already red hot, ignored the dissuasion of his companions and insisted on PK with Zhang Yu. Seeing Zhang Yu turning around and leaving with a speechless look on his face, he quickly stopped him in front. "I already got 2 badges. Are you scared? What's wrong with this kid? It's not over yet, right? Can I get a badge for this kind of skill?" Looking at the dark grey badge and the bright blue badge in the opponent's hand, Zhang Yu couldn't help but wonder if the difficulty of the gym competition he participated in had been increased. "Ah!" Brock, who was far away in the dark grey gym, sneezed and continued to fight against Shorts Boy's Rattata with his Guaidud. It is an unwritten rule in every gym to choose Pokémon of equal strength based on the level of the trainer. Otherwise, if you let a trainer who has just caught Rattata or Pikachu challenge Brock's Onix and Radon, the movie will be a rip-off. Since you are like this, I can only obey you. Zhang Yu looked at the crowd gathered around and took out the Pokeball in his hand. "I won't take advantage of you. I'll use my grass-type Tyrannosaurus to fight your flying-type Pidgeot." Throwing the Pokeball onto the field, Zhang Yu said to Xiao Hao. "Don't look down on me. You actually dared to fight against me against my attributes. I won't let you go." Chapter 56. Beat up Xiao Hao and Chao Yang Huami. An enthusiastic uncle among the onlookers ran over to act as a referee. The rules of the battle are naturally 1v1. Whoever falls first loses. Xiao Hao took the initiative and shouted to the Pidgeot, wing attack. Very Queen Flower, sword dance. Zhang Yu didn't even let the Amazon to dodge, and was ready to take it head on. Compare. The wings of the Pidgeot flashed across the body of Queen of Flowers with white light, but despite this, Queen of Flowers still completed the enhancement of the sword dance. Defo. I am so strong now. Pan. Zhang Yu did not intend to end the fight quickly, he wanted to play with the opponent for a while longer and let Xiao Hao experience the beating of society. Magic Leaf. Several blades of grass energy shot towards Pidgeot, but the opponent dodged them by taking advantage of its air superiority. Ha ha ha, that's it, so lame. Seeing that the opponent's attack missed, Xiao Hao inflicted damage on the Amazon. The flying type is fighting against the grass type, and the advantage is mine. No hurry, just play with him, Amazon, continue to strengthen your sword dance. Zhang Yu was ready to defeat the enemy with one blow and teach him a profound lesson, but if he had the reverse attribute, he must improve his abilities. Come on, keep attacking, Pidgeot, Fierce Storm. Xiao Hao took advantage of the victory and pursued the opponent. He got a little too excited and did not try to reduce the ability of the Queen of Flowers, but took the offensive. Compare. The two pairs of wings of the Pidgeot flapped rapidly, and a tornado suddenly blew up on the field. Don't worry about him, just guard it. The green energy shield withstood the storm's attack. But the continuous attack made it difficult to defend. The Queen Flower still suffered a lot of damage. Now, Yan Fan, quickly kill the Queen Flower. At this time, Xiao Hao was not as martial as he was before. It's really ugly, Queen Flower, you know it. Zhang Yu held his head and smiled. Enough of the trouble. It was time to fight back. Defo. Faced with the rapidly approaching Pidgeot, Queen Flower did not show any fear. With a flip of the little hand, a green blade of light appeared in the hand. Compare. The mantis bird rushed over with an unstoppable momentum, as if victory was in sight. Brush. The Overlord Flower's light blade was drawn out instantly, and finally slowly disappeared. As everyone and Xiao Hao stared in amazement, the Pidgeot in mid-air crashed directly. The game is over, and the winner is, Vanessa. The referee just reacted and quickly announced the result of the game. No. How could this happen? I was clearly restraining myself. Pipibi. You must be too weak. Xiao Hao was a little doubtful about his life. He ran to the seriously injured Pidgeot and was about to raise his hand to hit it. A green rope knocked him to the ground. Have you had enough of this? You're a loser and you're blaming Pokémon. Are you still human? The people around were talking about it when they saw Xiao Hao showing such an attitude. That's right. Didn't you boast about it before? Now you don't dare to admit it, you are so lame. Let me make it clear that he is here to travel to Yeheng University. Faced with the noisy voices, Xiao Hao could no longer bear the humiliation. He pushed the crowd away and disappeared into the distance, not even caring about his Pidgeot. When Xiao Hao's friends saw Xiao Hao like this, they didn't choose to chase him and just stood there in silence. Compare. The injured Pidgeot saw that his trainer ignored him and his eyes were filled with despair. During the previous gym competition, no matter how powerful the enemy was, he fought desperately. However, Xiao Hao always looked indifferent. When he was injured, he was just thrown into the Pokémon Center for treatment. If it weren't for the existence of the trainer treaty, I might have died long ago. The reason why Bai Niao did not choose to attack Xiao Hao was because he had received a life-saving peach fruit from him when he was poisoned. I didn't expect that there would be such a scum in Yeheng University. Zhang Yu sighed and felt pity for Pidgeot. He had met so many people and Pokémon along the way, but this was the first time he had seen someone treat his Pokémon like this. Let the Queen Flower heal Pidgeot's injuries. Pick up the Pokeball on the ground and give it to Xiao Hao's friend. Please return the Pidgeot to him. I hope this will teach him a lesson. The world doesn't revolve around him alone. After saying that, Zhang Yu ignored him, pushed the crowd away and walked away. After what happened, he was no longer in the mood to visit the university. Defo. Sensing that the trainer was feeling a little low, Amazona took Zhang Yu's hand. Thank you, I'm fine, I just feel a little ridiculous. Zhang Yu responded to Amazon that she would never become someone like Xiao Hao. However, good news soon came. Yumin called Zhang Yu to inform him that the analysis of the nectar was out and he could go and take a look. Arriving at the place where they met last time, Yumin smiled and said, "This time the company's research institute has replaced the new equipment, so the analysis progress is much faster." She took out a stack of information and handed it to Zhang Yu. Today's content is a bit long, but to put it simply, your Tyrannosaurus nectar is quite special. In addition to being of better quality than ordinary Tyrannosaurus nectar, regular consumption can also slightly increase the power of Pokémon. But I'm not sure what happens if people drink it. There are no relevant records yet. Zhang Yu was quite happy when he heard the first part, but felt a little embarrassed when he heard the latter part. He often used this thing as Red Bull. Ah ha ha ha, is that so? That's great, thank you, Yumin. Zhang Yu put away the information, made a few polite remarks, discussed the issue of cooperation, and then left. Can it increase the power of Pokémon? No wonder my one-horned rhino has grown so big. I always add some nectar of the queen flower when feeding it. I guess it's because of this. Since it is good for Pokémon, Zhang Yu plans to not drink it himself in the future and give it all to Pokémon. After all, no matter how poor you are, you cannot be poor in education, and no matter how hard it is, you cannot make your children suffer. Originally, he wanted to challenge the grass-type gym again, but he didn't seem to have any Pokémon that could restrain grass-type Pokémon. This is a bit frustrating. Now that I'm here, it would be a shame not to challenge the gym. Zhang Yu was flipping through the navigator's report out of boredom when one piece of news caught his interest. Yehung Department Store meets all your shopping needs. Yehung Department Store is the tallest building in Yehung City and also the largest shopping mall in the entire Guangdong. The goods inside are all available. In addition to common props, there are also many skill machines for sale. Oh, by the way, let's see if there are any suitable skill machines. Let's go without further delay. Having made up his mind, Zhang Yu quickly arrived at the department store located in the northwest corner of Yehung City. This shopping mall is even more grand than the Zilford shopping mall in Jinhuang City. Following the instructions, Zhang Yu came to the skill machine shelf and looked through it carefully. The prices are also high and low. The Venom Shock skill machine that Lilia gave me before is also available here. I tested it. It actually costs 5 poke coins. Zhang Yu felt that he owed Lilia even more. Hey, this skill is pretty good. He picked up the weather ball skill machine and read the description, attack the target to cause damage. If there is weather other than turbulence, the attributes of this move will be the corresponding attributes of the weather, and the power will be doubled. I remember that Queen Flower has a skill called Sunny Day, but she has only used it a few times. Sunny Day is a fire-type weather move. The grass-type skills of Queen Flower don't have any bonuses. So it keeps collecting dust. If it's a sunny day and the weather ball is added, then Queen of Flowers can use fire-type moves. Zhang Yu put the weather balloon skill machine into the shopping cart as if he had discovered a new continent. Fortunately, this is not expensive, only 2 Pokémon coins, so you can still afford it even if you empty out most of your family's savings. Although it hurt a bit, Zhang Yu still gritted his teeth and paid the bill. As he said, no matter how hard it is, he cannot let his children suffer. Defo. Although Queen Flower didn't quite understand, she had had the experience once before, so she quickly learned how to use the weather balloon this time. Okay. Then, I'll take over the grass-type gym. Zhang Yu clenched his fist and said confidently. Chapter 57, Flower Arrangeralgia. And the one-horned rhino bomb. Yehung Dojo is more like a greenhouse than a dojo. After Zhang Yu registered his information, he walked inside and saw many large and small gardens dividing the space. However, it does not look messy. On the contrary, the combination of different varieties of flowers makes the room more beautiful. After admiring the beautiful scenery for a while, Zhang Yu continued walking forward and soon found a group of people surrounding a woman wearing traditional Japanese clothes, who looked like a Yamato Nades Hiko. To learn flower arrangement, you must first choose fresh, plump, pest-free flowers, and select flowers according to the season and festival. Pay attention to the color matching, you can choose the same color, contrasting color, adjacent color, etc. to create different visual effects. A woman is explaining flower arrangement techniques to the crowd behind her. Zhang Yu approached the target and guessed that this should be Ljia, the master of Yaheng Gym. After confirming with the onlookers, he did not rush to challenge, but followed behind and listened to Ljia's story. About half an hour later, Ljia stopped talking and said that today's class was over. After the crowd dispersed, Zhang Yu stepped forward to explain his purpose. Sorry, today's class is over, Ljia said with a smile, thinking that Zhang Yu was still here to learn flower arrangement. My name is Yu, and I'm actually here to challenge the Yaheng Gym. Zhang Yu explained his purpose. He had no interest in flower arrangement or anything like that. Tisk. The gym competition is so tiring. Rika turned her head and complained in a low voice. What? Zhang Yu didn't hear clearly. It's okay, you can challenge the gym, Aza, please take Mr. Au to the battle venue and wait for a while, I'll go and prepare. Ljia called a girl to lead the way, and she left here with ladylike steps. However, when she passed by Zhang Yu smelled a familiar fragrance. Master Rika still has the demeanor of a Yamato Natsuhiko. The girl Ako said with some envy, as her life goal is to become a master. Then, Mr. Au, please follow me. On the way to the competition venue, Yazi took Zhang Yu and kept talking about how gentle and strong Ljia was. Zhang Yu didn't say anything but just nodded. He didn't know Ljia, so he couldn't believe everything a star-chasing girl said. When we arrived at the venue, Ljia was already waiting. A lady won't keep a challenger waiting. If nothing else, this attitude is very good. Ljia changed into a simple set of clothes, which is more suitable for fighting. The rules of the game remain the same. Ako will be the referee. Zhang Yu wanted to see how strong his Pokémon were, so he released the Rhino boss first. Mr. Au, are you planning to reverse the attributes? Even if so, I will not hold back. Ljia bowed slightly, looking very dignified, and with a light press of her hand, the Pokeball opened. Dream. A tangled mass of vines appeared on the field, and small eyes could be vaguely seen through the gaps in the vines. Ding Typhoon, a vine-shaped Pokémon. Its entire body is covered with vines, and the contents inside are completely unknown. Zhang Yu didn't know much about this Pokémon. Apart from knowing from its appearance that it was a grass type, he knew nothing else. However, when he saw the nearly 2-meter-long body of his unicorn, he felt that the reverse attribute was not that difficult to fight in comparison. The vine monster was not even as big as one of the unicorn's legs. Yes, after this period of feeding, the rhino boss has grown more than 10 centimeters in length. But the fat has also increased, and Zhang Yu also wants to let it exercise. Mr. Au, you are really a hidden talent. The corners of Ljia's mouth twitched. Wasn't he a trainer with only 2 badges? Such a big rhino was obviously well trained. She didn't know if her own vine monster could withstand the opponent's stomping. However, Ljia quickly regained her ladylike demeanor and pointed with the fan in her hand, Vine monster, use poison powder. Dream. The vine monster shook the vines on its body, and a ball of purple powder floated towards the rhino boss. Yeah, the one-horned rhino is no longer afraid of powder or anything like that. When Zhang Yu was training, he would often let his Pokémon practice against each other, and Rhino had been trained many times by Queen of the Moon. Now, when facing powder-based skills, it has learned to hold its breath for a long time. Boss Rhino, hold your breath and use the pounce attack to charge forward. Hi! The Rhino boss responded and then rushed towards the vine monster. Faced with the poisonous powder, it simply used its huge body to break up the powder. Rumbling. The running of the one-horned rhino caused the venue to shake. The vine monster looked at the 400-pound rhinoceros rushing towards it with fear in its eyes. Dream. No, I'm a grass type. Don't be afraid, vine monster. Tie a knot in the grass to trip the one-horned rhino. Ljia was very calm. The vine monster was not fast and it was difficult to avoid the charge of the unicorn, but she could still give it a try by using the grass knot. A green rope appeared under the rhino boss's feet. Although it looked thin, it still tripped him. As expected of you, you are the owner of the gym. However, Boss Rhino. It's like a mountain falling on our heads. Zhang Yu had expected the vine monster to tie a knot, so he changed his tactics. Hi! The rhino boss was tripped halfway, but due to inertia, his entire body pounced towards the vine monster. What? Jia was a little panicked. The unicorn rhinoceros weighed hundreds of pounds, and the vine monster was probably left with only vines. Use hold on. Dream. The vine monster also trusts Jia very much, and a yellow light flashes on its body. Boom. A cloud of dust rose from the venue. The rhino boss hit the vine monster heavily. Zhang Yu only felt the ground shake violently, followed by a huge noise. Vine monster! Jia shouted in panic. When the smoke cleared, only a bunch of vines were seen under the one-horned rhinoceros, and the slightly trembling branches showed that it was still conscious. Good opportunity, super absorption. Jia commanded instantly. This close-range super absorption can turn the tide of the battle in an instant. But Zhang Yu will definitely not surrender. Boss Rhino! Bite it to pieces! Awu bit the vines under him, and just as the vine monster was about to absorb energy, its last bit of strength was taken away. You did a great job. Come back. After comforting the unconscious vine monster, Jia looked at Zhang Yu with some resentment. My second Pokémon, Skullflower, come out. Bobo. The red light disappeared, and a stupid-looking plant appeared on the field. Zhang Yu also took back the unicorn and still chose the queen flower. As for the black seahorse, it was really difficult to get grass with water, and the black seahorse had not evolved yet. Amazon flower couldn't wait any longer. Ever since it killed Xiaohao's Pidgeot in one move last time, it has fallen in love with the feeling of killing people in 1 second. Deifu. Chapter 58. Although Kochika looks stupid, Zhang Yu didn't let his guard down. They were all grass and poison Pokémon, so he had to be careful. This smell. Jia felt that the smell of Amazon was somewhat familiar, but she couldn't remember it for a moment. Whatever, Cow Dehana. Seed bomb. Although grass hitting grass is a form of resistance, Cow Dewa doesn't have any good moves to deal with the civil war, and the only insect bite requires close combat. Looking at Zhang Yu's unusually sized queen of flowers, she must be very powerful at close range. What's going on? Both Pokémon are as big as if they had eaten King Kaloa. Jia complained in her heart, feeling a little aggrieved. Obviously I am the one with the grass attribute. Several large seeds were spit out from the mouth of the cow Daihua and exploded next to the queen flower. Don't be afraid, just take it and use Sunny Day. The queen of flowers is very strong, and the seed bombs can't even break its skin. Deifu. A beam of light shot out from the head of the queen of flowers, and a small image of the sun appeared in the sky above the field. The sun is getting stronger. What tactics will they use this time? Jia had no idea what Zhang Yu was up to. Growth. X2. The two of them gave the order at the same time, and the ability to grow under the effect of sunny days was doubled. It was more useful than sword dance. But it is not suitable for outdoor encounters because there is no time for you to prepare. Both Pokémon have greatly increased their attacks. Pollen Ball. Zhang Yu gave the order first. Pollen Ball is an insect-type skill. It will explode to the enemy, but it will heal for oneself. He wanted to test whether Cow Dewa could cope with long-range attacks. ZZ. Jia quickly instructed the daisy flower to use dissolving liquid to intercept the pollen mass. In that case, bombing with weather balloons probably won't be very effective. We still have to get close. Zhang Yu looked at Cow Dewa's big mouth and estimated that the seed machine gun must be able to fire very quickly. Lure the enemy deep into our territory, and then strike with thunder. Zhang Yu made up his mind and changed his tactics. Venom Blast. Then he whispered, hit it a little off. Deifu. Although she didn't understand why she did this, the queen flower trusted Zhang Yu 100% and sprayed a stream of venom at the cow Daihua without hesitation. Pop Pop Cow Dewa dodged subconsciously and easily avoided the attack. Seeing the accurate Tyrannosaurus, Jia breathed a sigh of relief. She knew that it was impossible for a trainer with 2 badges to fight against a weakling with the same attribute. Vakera, continuous venom attack. It's better not to hit it, Zhang Yu continued quietly. The queen flower nodded, transformed into a master of outlining, and failed to hit the day's flower. Wow! How could this happen? I don't believe it, Amazon, keep going. Zhang Yu held his breath and his face turned red, pretending to be red and warm. Are you losing your composure? Although she felt something was wrong, Jia would not give up this great opportunity. Cow Dewa. Bug Bite. Boom. The gag flower quickly jumped towards the Queen of Flowers and opened its big mouth to bite the Queen of Flowers' head. Right now, weather balloon! Zhang Yu suddenly shouted, which frightened Li Jie. Defo! Queen Flower rubbed her hands together like a raisin, and an energy ball appeared. Because it was a sunny day, the energy ball turned from white to red. No! Get out of the way! When Li Jie realized something was wrong, it was too late. Boom! The weather balloon was stuffed into Cao Deca's mouth. Boom! The effect was outstanding, and Cao Dewa was blown away directly. Defo! Fight! Awesome! The Queen of Flowers once again experienced the feeling of pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger. Okay, continuous weather balloons. A few seconds later, after being hit by several weather balloons, Cao Dewa finally fell asleep peacefully. Li Jie's last Pokémon is Smelly Flower. Facing Tyrannosaurus, she is just like the nurse in the movies and TV series who is helpless when facing a drunk husband, a tutor hired by parents, and a patient who is loud dang. After a few minutes. The rainbow badge. I got it. Putting the badge given by Li Jie into the badge box, Zhang Yu said something in a childish way. Mr. Au, are you really just starting your journey? Rika Yamato Natsuko's temperament is a little broken. She doesn't feel bad about being defeated, the key is that the feeling of being played the pig and eaten the tiger is not very good. Well, all in all, I've been traveling for almost half a year. Zhang Yu touched his chin and thought about it. Haha, is that so? Then your fighting talent is really good. Li Jie smiled stiffly. The two of them praised each other for some business, and then Zhang Yu left the Yeheng gym. Sure enough, I still have to study the tactics and can't act recklessly. Walking on the street, Zhang Yu was still thinking about the battle. A group of noisy children passed by him and entered a building decorated with many colorful lights. Zhang Yu's attention was attracted, and when he looked up, it turned out to be a game city. Yeheng Game City? There are games in the Pokémon world too. He has been here for a long time, but he has never seen anyone playing games or anything like that. Maybe it's because I don't have a smartphone. However, the game city that appeared in front of him made him itchy. What? Why are there only slot machines? Looking at the slot machines in the game city, Zhang Yu was very unhappy. The venue is quite large and the decoration is nice, but the types of games are too monotonous. There is also a game of guessing Pokémon by flipping cards, which is also very boring. I waited in vain. He is not interested in this kind of gambling game. Ha ha ha, there's no such thing as a child crying every day. There's no such thing as a gambler losing every day. An old man in the distance laughed loudly and collected the large amount of game coins that appeared in the machine. A group of people gathered around and looked at the uncle with envy. Ha ha ha, luck, luck. The uncle said modestly, trying to suppress his smile. Tisk, not even as good as a hair of the king of fighters. After complaining in his heart, Zhang Yu prepared to turn around and leave the game city. Hey, little brother, why don't you go play games? A man in a research suit blocked Zhang Yu's way. The popularity of their game city had dropped a lot recently, so the boss sent him to collect customer feedback. He happened to see Zhang Yu, who looked bored. I just don't like playing slot machines. How come such a big game city doesn't even have fighting games? Zhang Yu complained. In fact, there is another reason why the Pokémon World game is not popular, that is, there are too many mobile populations, and the entire world is centered around Pokémon. It is fun enough to catch Pokémon on a daily basis, so naturally fewer people play the game. Battle game. The researchers became interested. Could you please explain it in detail? Zhang Yu had just finished a gym match and was in no hurry to leave, so he followed the researcher to the VIP room of the gaming city. Chapter 59, Pokémon World. Meeting with Sakeke? You just mentioned a battle game, right? After researchers Derang and Zhang Yu introduced themselves, they couldn't wait to ask questions. Well, before I answer, I want to know why your game city only has a single game. Zhang Yu couldn't believe it. In such a big Pokémon world, there isn't even someone who can make games? Well. I'm not really sure. Taro is just a researcher who collects feedback. How can he know what the top management thinks? Zhang Yu expressed his understanding, nodded and continued. It's okay if you don't know. Let me briefly tell you my thoughts. everyone likes Pokémon battles, right? Darang nodded. If Pokémon battles weren't fun, then what was the point of being a trainer? Then, everyone likes Pokémon breeding, right? Darang continued to nod, but he began to wonder what these two ideas were for. Putting these two together, is there any use? Zhang Yu tapped the table lightly and asked Dallin. After thinking for a few minutes, Dallin slapped his thigh. Yes. That's great. Hey. Don't be in a hurry. Also, create a game character that imitates traveling in the real world. Do you think people will like it? Zhang Yu continued. Then, he briefly told Darang about a series of concepts on Earth, including the exploration of the so-called Big World, the development of Pokémon, and ladder battles. Although Zhang Yu himself is not a person who is keen on games, he has more or less understood these things through various advertisements and the marketing strategies of many bloggers. After all, he just proposed such an idea. Whether it can be realized in the end depends entirely on the other party's attitude and ability. Taro was stunned for a moment. Although he understood every word, he couldn't understand them together. Is Mr. Au a genius? This idea is truly astonishing. Finally, Dallin seemed to react. He stood up and said excitedly, Mr. Au, your idea is so amazing. I'm afraid I can't make a decision. However, it just so happens that a few leaders have recently come to our game city, and I can introduce them to you. Now it was Zhang Yu's turn to be surprised. No, did this alarm the management? This shows that Zhang Yu underestimated the powerful brainwashing power of the earth-stitching game. After watching this set of combos, who would not be confused? Anyone you pick out at random is no more exciting than a slot machine. After Dallin finished speaking, he walked out quickly, leaving Zhang Yu waiting in the room. You know what, putting the game aside, the decoration here is really nice. Zhang Yu let the little black seahorse out to see the world. Oh? A new game mode. A tall and mighty man was listening to Taro's report. Yes, boss. His ideas are very advanced. I think he can make our game city bigger and stronger and create greater glory. Dallin organized his words and said. He originally wanted to report to the higher UPS, but his leader said the boss was also there, so he met Team Rocket's boss Osaka Sakeki in a daze. Sakeki has had some headaches recently. The start of the Mutuo project has made the Rocket's funds a little stretched. The league has been increasingly strict in checking the sale of Pokémon, and the flow of people to the game city has also been declining. The shrinkage of the two major sources of income has forced him to personally step in to stabilize the situation. The game city is currently the Rocket team's largest source of income besides Pokémon trading. If it's really as you said, I have to go meet this talented person. Sakeki hesitated for a moment, then looked at the two people next to him and meowed. You three, go and familiarize yourself with your new jobs in advance. After all, you will be in charge of the game city from now on. Yes, sir. X3. Kojiro, Musashi, Meowth instantly stood at attention and answered loudly, then left the room. Seeing how reliable the trio was, Sakeki felt a little better. One was the stupid son of a landlord, one was the daughter of one of the founders of Team Rocket, and the remaining Meowth was also a great inventor. The trio can do everything except being the Rockets. How can I have such a combination of Crouching Dragon and Phoenix? In the past, I was always doing more harm than good, which made him very angry, but I couldn't say anything. However, I don't know what stimulated me recently, but my emotional intelligence has finally increased, and I can share some of the work pressure with me. Yes, Team Rocket is not yet the evil organization that dominates the world. Sakeki's ambition is to make a lot of money inherited from his mother, so he does not have that many talents to use. The organization's activities are also limited to the Kanto region and the Seven Islands. But when he started to study Mutuo, he gradually came up with some ideas other than making money, but making money was still the main goal. Seeing that Sakeki was no longer lost in thought, Taro said respectfully, Boss, how about I call Mr. Au over? No, I want to meet the people who have the ability and ideas in person. Sakeki waved his hand to interrupt Tatsuro and signaled him to lead the way. Okay, boss, please come this way. Squeak. The door of the VIP room was opened and Zhang Yu looked forward. A middle-aged man in a black suit and slicked back hair walked in with steady steps. This person is probably a high-level leader, and he looks like someone in a higher position. Sakeki was also looking at Zhang Yu. He seemed to be an ordinary young man, but he had a strange feeling that he had a temperament that did not belong to this world. The temperament of a working man. Mr. Au, right? I'm the owner of this game city. You can call me Sakeki. Taro has already told me that you are indeed a young talent. Sakeki greeted in a very official manner. Hello, Mr. Sakeki, my name is Au. I'm not a young talent, but I'm a little smart. Zhang Yu didn't know that the man in front of him was the boss of Team Rocket. He thought he was just an ordinary company boss. After a brief exchange, the two got down to business. Mr. Au, I'm quite interested in the new game mode you mentioned. Can we talk about it in detail? Sakeki entered working mode and his expression became serious. Zhang Yu stopped being polite and asked his own question, Boss Sakeki, before I answer your question, can you tell me why your company only has slot machines? Sakeki was stunned for a moment, then smiled and said, Why? Of course it's to make money. Is there any game that can make more money than slot machines? Zhang Yu was silent for a moment. He didn't expect Sakeki's idea to be so simple. Just to make money? He was really down to earth. But he didn't ask any more questions. As an ordinary person, he could just listen to the company's philosophy and not delve into it. As long as it wasn't murder or arson, that was fine. Okay, Boss Sakeki is a straightforward person, so I'll tell you what I think. Chapter 60 brings a little Tencent shock to the Pokémon world. As far as I know, apart from the navigator being able to communicate with friends over the phone and check local news, there seems to be no other quick way to get information. Zhang Yu thought about it. He had seen a TV before, but it was similar to the satellite TV on Earth. He also had computers, but they were mostly used for research. The Pokémon Time-Space Backpack has been developed, so why aren't there any decent mobile phones? It feels like the tech tree is heading in a weird direction. Sakeki nodded. As the boss of Team Rocket, he also knew about the navigator, but as for the others, it seemed that he didn't know anything about them. Well, in that case, the idea of creating a large Pokémon world will probably fail. Zhang Yu said with some regret. Pokémon game world. The novel idea piqued Sakeki's interest. Mr. Au, why don't you tell me about it? Maybe I can make it happen. Well, this is a bit complicated. I just have a simple framework. In fact, he just heard about it from others or watched others play it. Many classmates played X-God before, and they were crooked every day and wailed. He was curious and tried it. However, at present, even the gameplay of Tetris can beat the fun of playing slot machines like Pokémon. Mr. Sakeki, you can think of the Pokémon world as a way to achieve freedom in the virtual world. For example, if you like fighting, you can become the battle champion in the game competition. If you like nurturing, you can create a nurturing system in the game. An hour later, Zhang Yu had basically stitched together all the games in his mind. Proposed game ideas including but not limited to Pokémon Battle, Pokémon 97. Pokémon Cultivation, Legendary Beast Cultivation Plan. Pokémon Quest, Travel Trainer. Wait for a series of stitching games. Test. Sakeki was stunned and almost cursed. No, is he really a genius? He was very excited about this game. Who could resist the temptation of raising a divine beast by themselves? Who could resist being crowned the champion? Even if it is virtual, it is enough to be used as a capital for showing off. Sakeki's throat was a little dry, so he swallowed and asked, Well, Mr. Au, what you said sounds great, but how do you make money? He couldn't help but use honorifics when addressing Zhang Yu. But I still haven't forgotten my purpose, to make money. Well, you can be more specific about this. Zhang Yu thought of the XX pesticide that he had followed for a while and thought that skins were too profitable. However, he didn't know the spending power of the Pokémons. What if they didn't buy into this? Mr. Sakeki, do you have any favorite Pokémon? Favorite Pokémon? Sakeki thought for a few seconds and replied, Beedrill. He thought of the giant bee that had grown up with him. Zhang Yu didn't think much about it and continued, what if you own a Beedrill in the game world and you like it very much, and then one day you are told that Beedrill can super evolve, would you be tempted? Sakeki's expression remained unchanged, but he was a little shocked. Super evolution? Mega? How could he know? Wasn't he from the Orange Islands? As the boss of Team Rocket, who is spread all over Kanto, when Sakeka decided to meet Zhang Yu, he already got all the information about him. Seeing that Sakeka's expression didn't change much, Zhang Yu said, "Then would you be tempted to give your Beedrill a more gorgeous appearance and stronger attack skills?" It does sound pretty good. After thinking about the cool look of Beedrill, Sakeka nodded. So, it doesn't cost money to buy these things? It's just like buying things in a mall, but you still have to consider the balance. You can also create a card drawing mode similar to a slot machine, with a guaranteed minimum. Sakeki was numb. He never thought that a game could come up with so many tricks, and the way to make money was so legal. However, the popularity rate is still a problem. I heard that the Duan company in the Hone region has made great progress in the space system, and Dr. Akihabara has optimized the datization of Porygon. Sakeka began to discuss this issue in detail with Zhang Yu. A few hours later, Sakeka stood up and said, "Tatsuro, go and draw up a contract. Mr. Au, if you don't mind, our company sincerely wants you to be our game consultant for the Kanto region, to guide the development of the game." This turn of events came so fast that Zhang Yu was caught off guard. "I am just offering some humble opinions. I am glad that your company can adopt them. However, as for the game consultant, he has never done this kind of work before, and it would be embarrassing if he didn't do it well. 5 Pokémon coins per month, plus profit sharing. We can talk about it later when you bring the contract." When it comes to talent, Sakeki is very willing to spend money. There is no company that wants to acquire talent without spending money. I am willing to accept this job. I see your appreciation for me. It's about making money, so it's okay as long as it's not illegal. Dallin quickly brought the contract. After Zhang Yu read it and found no loopholes, he signed his name without hesitation. "Mr. Au, it's a pleasure to work with you. As for the network concept you mentioned, I will find a way to get it done, but for now we can conduct a game pilot in Yahung City. I'll need you to take care of this aspect." Sakeka shook hands with Zhang Yu, and then said that he had other work to do and someone would hand over to Zhang Yu next. "Okay, Mr. Sakeka, it's a pleasure to work with you. I hope we can succeed." Zhang Yu still doesn't know that he has boarded the rocket team's ship. Sakeka glanced at Taro, who took out a Pokeball and placed it on the table in front of Zhang Yu. "As a gift for our successful cooperation, please accept this polymorphic beast, Mr. Zhang Yu." After finishing his words, Sakeka left in a hurry, apparently to solve the network problem. "Hey! This boss is too polite." He picked up the Pokeball and pressed the button. A red light flashed and a Pokémon that looked like a paper crane appeared in front of him. The body is red and blue. Although it is not big, it has sharp edges and is full of a sense of technology. Porygon, an artificial Pokémon created using the most advanced scientific power. It can move in cyberspace. Artificial Pokémon? Zhang Yu was shocked. He was convinced that the technology tree in the Pokémon world was developing too high. Bang! After Porygon made a mechanical sound, it suddenly turned into a stream of light and drilled into the Pokémon navigator on Zhang Yu's hand. Zhang Yu quickly took the navigator down, shook it back and forth a few times, and patted it again, but there was no response. Ding the language module downloaded successfully. Just when Zhang Yu wanted to use the Pokeball to take back Porygon, it emerged from the navigator and its body instantly changed from particles back to Porygon. "Hello, I'm Porygon 007, are you my trainer?" The red and blue light on Porygon's body slowly alternated, and it was actually having a conversation with Zhang Yu. "Hi.